Hello, hello. Back with day 31. Technically, I just realized the sound isn't working. Uh, what is it? Technically, today is the month long one or month long one. I've officially been doing it for a month. I need to figure out which one it is. Go figure it's the last one I chose. But yeah, day 31. The end of a normal month. Technically, the final day of a month because what was it, 28, 30 from last stream and 31 now. Yeah, it's the end of essentially being the first month of shiny hunting since starting what, February, I think 17th, I think is what it was. It might have been the 18th. But yeah, like super like exciting stuff, like getting to that month mark, and it feels like nice knowing that I have something this consistent. Yeah, I want to stop beating around the bush and, we get right into these hunts. So obviously, we have Bulbasaur currently sitting at 3,100, and Squirtle is currently at, I think, 2,127? Yeah, 2,127. Which essentially makes it real easy for me to be able to do the math for, Squirtles. Kind of wish I didn't start Squirtle on a weird hunt number, but oh well. First check of the day? Nothing. Alright. I wonder if this is going to be another day where I go 6 resets in and get the shiny. Charmander just, shining out of nowhere. But it's also very much possible that this could be the first over odds shiny. It's kind of hard to tell because if you think about it, I mean, I'm hunting 2 different Pokemon, so their odds are, even though they're both the same, they're also kind of different. Also, it just occurred to me that I never checked to see if I updated the hunt, which I probably didn't. Oh, no, I did. Nothing. Yeah, so it's nice to think about, my first over odds shiny ever. And by nice, I mean terrifying. Going over odds is going to suck. I mean, you get to 8,192, and it's just like, well, do it again. But I suspect there will be plenty of those, especially when doing random encounter ones, because those have their own unique, thing with resets called phases. And that's going to be under where resets is. Which essentially means that whenever you find a shiny that isn't what your target is, it technically will reset into what is essentially called a phase. So if I'm hunting a Zubat and I find a shiny Clefairy, then, that's the end of phase 1, and now we're on to phase 2, I believe. I believe that's how it works. Or it's how many we went through. Think of it like New Game Pluses, I guess. So I guess we start on 0. And then every time we miss one, I believe it goes up by 1. I think that's how it increments, actually, now that I think about it. That is tracking, right? Yeah, it is. So to hopefully make sure that I don't switch screens like I did incidentally earlier, I am doing the increment while the counter itself is open. Since I'm still able to play the game while having it open, I can, or while it's the focus, I can still do pretty well about it. So funny enough, and this is something I found out after I was doing all the uploads and getting schedule set for all the videos that we're releasing. Turns out that one of the songs that was in when we were doing like the whole nostalgia day got flagged, and apparently it actually prevents the entirety of the video from being uploaded if it's like found in there. So there's gonna be like an awkward moment in that nostalgia video if you go back and watch it. Obviously, if you're watching this at this point on YouTube, you might have seen it if you haven't been following along. But on Twitch here, it definitely it's just kind of like a fun little thing. I don't exactly remember which one it was. I don't think it was Digimon. I don't think it was Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't think it was Pokemon. I'd have to like go back and check to see what it was. I don't think it was Sonic X. Oh, but it was a funny one. It was kind of an amusing one. I wonder, you know, I could probably check real quick. Studio. I think it was this one. No, yes, the one with the nostalgia. Let's see. Copyright. Oh, well, I guess it got it removed, so I can't remember what it was. Oh man, where was it? But, like, some of the ones that got passed through that were fine. I mean, obviously they hit with copyright, but like they don't do anything. The Hex Girl song, the Digimon song, Butterfly, which I don't remember what that was from. Animaniacs end title, the Poké Rap, Yakko's World, and the Pokemon theme were all fine. Can I go into clips? Not clips. Editor. Can I see what was in the previous edited section? I might have to let the video load. Oh well. But it was just kind of funny that like one song out of that entire nostalgia trip got triggered. And it had something to do with like music production in Japan. So it was like very one specific thing. Can I go to the part of the where is this at? Is that a 38-minute mark? Now I need to like go into my own video. Alright. So funny enough, I found the section where it's at, but I don't remember what it was. Hold on, I gotta rewind slightly. Oh, I just realized. Hold on. Yeah, this edge realized there was no music. Oh, come on, where is it? Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Oh, I don't even know where it's at. Holy crap. Oh well, it's really unimportant. I don't know why I'm so why I'm harking on it for so long. But yeah, so I mean, I kind of figured like stuff like that would happen depending on what it is that I'm playing in the background or like having nostalgia trips over. But I mean, maybe it was the Yu-Gi-Oh theme. I don't know. But it's just one of those things where it happens, and I'm not upset about it. The important thing is that video is still technically up. Because if it was a situation where the video had to be taken down like entirely, I'd be upset. But it's just one small section of the entire like what 3-hour like video stream-ish thing that I did. So a small little section of it's okay. Though not much can really be done about it now. Especially since it doesn't let me actually see what the changes are, like where they were. It just kind of, it fully removes it, and then it's like, oh, well, hope you still have the original VOD, which I don't, but, oh well. I don't have the space on my computer for me to be, like, hoarding a whole bunch of, like, VODs. I had, Oh, I want to say I had like 60 or so gigabytes worth of like different VODs still on my computer that needed to be uploaded. So that's fun. But oh well. I think it's fun to be doing stuff like that. But also, since I found out that I can actually like record while I'm doing these gameplays, so long as I'm not having like a bajillion things going on at the same time, it makes it a lot better knowing I can just do that rather than ripping it from Twitch and then posting it to YouTube. Because then I also have to go in to do more editing, especially the stuff at the intro, because the intro music I know is copyright protected on YouTube. And to essentially have that on every single video that isn't a Pokemon video would be fairly upsetting. But also, to go along with YouTube, I finally made, what are they called? Thumbnails for the Pokemon videos. Since I'm gonna be doing them for so long, I might as well, like, make thumbnails. They're nothing extravagant, but I thought they were kind of cute. And so, like, if you get a chance, I'd appreciate, like, some feedback on it. My intention is to probably change, like, the placement of the stuff every time I switch to a different, like, generation. Right now, because we're doing Fire Red and Leaf Green, that's what the backgrounds are for those videos, but whenever we get to, oh, was it Gold, Silver, and Crystal? Right? Our Gold, Soul, Silver? Yeah, so Gold, Silver, and Crystal. It'll probably change to, like, being, like, an image of all three of them, and then we'll have to move the wording around and stuff like that, so. But that's a long way off. Like I said, we're in day 31, and I'm still trying to get my third shiny. So it's a very long and arduous... I shouldn't say arduous. It's a very long and very repetitive journey. But it's okay. It's okay. I understand that this is the hard part, the starting games. But as we start progressing through the generations, aka once we get to the 4th generation, it'll be significantly easier. Because the Masuda method, I can use that to hunt as well. And by then, I will have a Japanese Ditto. Obviously, I need that for the Masuda method, but you know what I mean. So a good number of those hunts will be taking place. However, I thought it'd be kind of fun to like have my first like Generation 4 hunt like unironically be like Manaphy, since I already have 4 eggs for that hunt. But I mean, nah, I'll wait for a Manaphy until after I get like through the game, or at the very least the bike. Because not only am I going to have to hunt the starters, but I'm also going to have to hunt Giratina again. I don't think there's any other mandatory legendaries, or really any mandatory Pokemon. Because let's see here, in Gen 2, it's the starter, and then I think Sudowoodo, and that's it. I mean, maybe if I play Crystal, maybe Suicune. But then again, I've never played Gold or Silver, so I don't know how they correlate with Ho-Oh and Lugia. But I think that might actually be a good thing, because like, if I split the games properly, I could do, and this is obviously just future planning, like way down the line, but like, Gold could be obviously Ho-Oh, but it could also be Entei, assuming it's Entei anyway. While Silver can be Raikou. And Crystal, because Crystal is Suicune's game, Suicune. But it also helps out that, you know, with Crystal as well, I also get to hunt Celebi in that one. So, like, each of them have, like, 2 legendaries that I get to focus on. I mean, it's very much possible I could just, like, hunt them all, like, in Crystal, but there's no fun in that. kind of wish that they would have come out with like an electric yellow or something like that. That would have been a really cool addition to Fire Red and Leaf Green. Or like, I don't know, what's a good descriptor for blue? I mean, if water blue sounds boring. Wavy blue? I don't know. But I mean, I guess wave blue wouldn't be that bad. I mean, I have leaf green and fire red, and then my addition of yellow or electric yellow. So I guess wave blue wouldn't be that bad. But like, I think other than the starter and Sudowoodo, I don't know what the other mandatory, like, in the way Pokemon that you have to kind of get. And the thing that kind of sucks about that Sudowoodo is it really is a mandatory one, unlike Snorlax in this where there's 2 of them. In Gen 2, there's only one Sudowoodo. One. And that's it. There are no other Sudowoodo in the wild for some weird reason. To be fair, I don't know if there is in Crystal. But from what I was reading, in all 3 of them, there's only one Sudowoodo, and it's the one you spray with the water, the spray bottle. Gen 3. Ooh, boy. Obviously the starter. That game-specific legendary. But then technically Latias and Latios? Or an Emerald both? And then obviously an Emerald you have Rayquaza. Yeah, I mean, apparently there's just there's just 2 per game after Fire Red and Leaf Green. Oh, technically, Japanese Emerald has Mew. I was talking about that earlier. So I'll have to do a side play of that while we're going through Emerald. That'll be fun. What else is there? What else? I mean, Gen 4, going through each of those games. Right? You have the starter, and then you have each of the game's legendaries. Even though technically you can get Dialga and Palkia both in Platinum. Both. Like, I think it'd be better just to save them for their each individual game for a different reason. Because there's already unique Pokemon in each of the games that I have to get anyway. And so it may be better if I just, like, go through those games differently. I mean, my plan is to go through, like, Leaf Green off-stream once I get either Bulbasaur or Squirtle. So that way I can catch up with Fire Red. So that way I can have, like, any Pokemon in that happens to be mandatory. So obviously some Pokemon are in Fire Red and some are Leaf Green. And I figured it'd be better to, you know, get this one started since we're already technically, I think, at Koga on Fire Red. I believe we're in Fuchsia. But man, the Pokemon that he has are pretty strong, so I need to train up. Essentially, this is just like, I just realized this is essentially one big, like, video record of the entirety of my Pokemon not the entirety, but like the entirety of this Pokemon journey, like both in and out of shiny hunts, because I had to progress through the story, and I'm doing that on stream in the event that I happen to run into a random ass shiny. Because that's the thing about, like, odds and luck, man. Anytime, anywhere, shiny. And I'd rather have that chance always be recorded than to, you know, play it offline, get caught up, and then accidentally run to a shiny while I'm trying to catch up. But I'm gonna have to suffer with that while I'm playing through the screen, or like the sister game of whatever it is I'm playing. Which is, like, sadly a thing that kind of has to be done. But c'est la vie. I know I'm just gonna run to a shiny while I'm going through the game normally. Like, just one on stream. Gonna be shinies everywhere. Gonna be a safari zone of shinies. And I'm gonna capture them. Every single one of them. And then one day I'm gonna open up Leaf Green and be like, look at all these shinies. Look at them as I point and laugh that I have to recapture them again. Because they weren't on stream. But I will say, one of the more fun things about this whole shenanigan is that I am using Pokemon differently than what I normally use. So, like the team that's currently, like, playing through in the bottom right, like, I always use my starter, and generally I do go towards Pidgey anyway, but, like, I never used Pikachu. I've never used Nidoqueen. I've never used Gyarados. And I've never once have I ever used Primeape. Like, I think I've never actually... I've fought with Gyarados and Nidoqueen and stuff like that, and Pikachu, but, like, I've never... In all the games I played, I don't think I've ever actually pulled out a Mankey or a Primeape and fought with them. Because, like, yeah, I think, like, back in, what, Gen 2 with the Lake of Rage, everybody probably used that red Gyarados. The Angigoat, the Angridos. I mean, I use Nidoqueen quite handedly in Stadium. Obviously, I've used Pikachu because of playing through Pokemon Yellow. What was the other one? I'm now watching it cycle through. Oh no, really? Okay, Prime really was just the only one left. Okay. Yeah. It's. I want to use new Pokemon because, like, I'm also doing that in my Japanese Platinum. I'm using Pokemon I've never really used before. Like, obviously I have my starter once again. Whoops. See, what do I have? I have a Machamp. I have a Rapidash. I have an Alakazam. Oh, what are the other ones? Oh man, what am I forgetting? I will say, I actually started off with a water star this time. I have Empoleon right now. Because I don't think I've ever really used Piplup either. I always went with Infernape. Or, sorry, Chimchar. I guess by that proxy, I've also never used, what's his name? Horsewig? Is that his name? Never used him either. Man, why am I blanking the other ones? I want to say Onyx, but that doesn't sound right. I say all this like I can't just open it like right beside me. It's just right beside me. I don't know if the sound of the 3DS open came across or not, but I can check real quick. Once again, not that big of a deal. Just, you know, fun little things. I don't know. Using the same teams over and over and over again, like, I don't know, it's just one of those things where it's like, I kind of get tired of it after a while. And so, like, I want to just experiment. Like, with other Pokemon I've never used before. Or at least never used them in a story-based sense. Like Snorlax, I've caught Snorlax with, like, every time I play, you know, Pokemon game. But, like, I've never used it in an actual team. All right, so the team on there. Oh yeah, okay. One of these is a bad pick because of the fact that he's essentially an HM monster. Oh man, I wonder if I could look at the Pokedex and figure out who. Because obviously, if I'm using it, I probably have its final stage. I was using. Oh no, I know what it is. Yeah, I know what it is. Because oh nope, he's right there. Dang it. I was wrong. It was not who I thought it was. No, I actually. So I'm staying in front of Giratina because I was shiny hunting it, like off stream. And I accidentally triggered the fight. Whoopsie. Let me add that actually to my own personal counter because I did tend to do a reset. Where is it? Click counter. Japanese Giratina offline. Alright. No nickname, no nickname. Fine, I'll take this one. Okay. Let's see, go into the Pokedex. Oh, I can set to just hot Pokemon, right? Oh, if I knew how to read Japanese. Let's see. I'm just trying to go through this real quick and see what I have because obviously I have him. I got him. I already mentioned him. Wait, I wonder, is that what I'm not carrying because I'm technically hunting Giratina and Giratina would be worthless? Nope, there it is. Dang it, come on. I am playing myself. Okay, maybe it's not Onyx, because I could have trade evolved it. It's not Gengar. I traded it to evolve it, but I'm not using it on my team. What? Nothing happened. I just want to say hi. I just wanted to, talk to you, say hi, do other things. Brother, sorry, I was looking at my Pokedex. I'm trying to remember what it is I'm using on Japanese Platinum to go through it. I was talking about the fact that, like, I've been going through, like, Japanese Platinum. I can't remember exactly everything I have. You're at work? I know you're at work, and I kind of wish you weren't so you could buy, but at the same time, you need money. You know? Am I beginning off early, though? Am I break it soon? Uh-oh. However, you should probably eat, and it might be at noon. You probably should eat rather than be here, but I appreciate you stopping by to say hi. I think I know what the last Pokemon I have on my team is. Or was that the Alga for a moment? Why are they so far down? No nickname. You can do both, but I also might have to go to the doctor after work. Well, tell your doctor I said hey. Long time no see. Literally. I'm gonna message it to you in Discord. I have to reopen Discord on my PC now. Could you? Can't you stay healthy for 5 minutes? What was my last Pokemon? Maybe it was Onyx. Maybe it was Onyx, and I'm losing my mind. I'm pretty sure. Now that I'm thinking about it, it probably was Onyx. So, like, my team on Japanese Platinum is Empoleon, Alakazam. Right now it's Gabite. Luxray, Rapidash, and I'm pretty sure now that actually I'm thinking about it, it probably is Onyx. Women thing. Cat's also going through a women thing right now. Yeah, so I'm trying to experiment outside the normal teams that I use, because otherwise I stick to the same formula of Pokemon, and it always carries me through the team or through the game fine. All right, let me open up. Doesn't involve burning. Maybe. He says both. Like yes and no. Yeah, she oddly enough, she's thinking the same thing, but it's like sometimes, but not often enough to be. But like at the same time, it's very similar. So she's very confused about it too. Also, I read it. But it's kind of funny because like for her, she's very confused about it. Because like there's literally no reason for it. Quite literally. Bro, I need to take my shoes off. I still have my shoes off from one team. Come on, me. On and yeah, go to the doctor, get that resolved. I hope it really is just nothing. It's a situation where it's just it's happenstance to be similar, but isn't. I've seen enough of that to know how much of a problem it truly is. My back. Let me actually sit up straight. Since I actually have can I trigger the increment? Can I trigger the increment? Oh, I can use my mouse to trigger the increment because I have the thing open. Which means I can actually lean back. Oh, it doesn't play the sound though? Are you serious? You know, I can't believe it. Where is that little pillow? Give me just a moment. I'll be back. I grabbed a slightly bigger pillow. Ah. There we go. Now it actually feels a lot better. Alright, let me take my wrist guard away from my keyboard so I can actually have access to it better. Alright, there we go. Now I should be able to relax while doing the hunt, you know? Sometimes you gotta lean back. You know, like the famous song once said, lean back. I am so cringe. I am so sorry. That's what you get when you come to a Dante stream. Ultimate cringe at random points in time. However, I will not be doing the ooh-woos or the oh-woos. Free of charge anyway. Wait, who does them free of charge nowadays? Everyone's charging for those. Except for me. Except for me. I'm too good for it. I'll accept no monetary consultation. I don't even know the word anymore. No, that's not the right word. What am I trying? I don't know. Compensation, that's the word I'm looking for. No monetary compensation will be considered. I will say the words in a very, very bland way that I'm talking now. Okay. Though, I mean, I guess it is fun to be cringe, though. Like, to make people laugh, kind of cringe. But also the like, what are you doing? Kind of like cringe is also pretty funny. Like I want to have that cringe that gives you secondhand embarrassment. Because it's fun. It really is. It's some of the most amusing things to watch. Like you feel for people whenever you see it. Like, what is it? Showed Chaos recently. He had a pretty funny moment where he was really cringe, but it was really funny. It was a funny cringe. But I mean, it's kind of like adding to like his name. Cause yeah, he's pretty chill. But man, was it chaotic. And it was a great chaotic. It almost felt like a situation with like Sonic Chaotix. That's how chaotic it was. Oh, whoops. Once again, how am I getting to the game faster in one but not the other? Oh. Okay. Okay. I would like to look at all of them at the same time. The two inside game, or sorry, the two big games were like in sync, and then the two outside ones, smaller ones, were like delayed. You'd think the games of the same type would like work together. So also another update. YouTube, this really won't affect you much because you have your video scheduled for a while. But essentially, Twitch, I'll be going on like a small week vacation. Where, it essentially is going to be splitting up my stream schedule a bit. Where, and I posted about this on Twitter. Where essentially, today and tomorrow I'll be streaming. But then I won't be streaming until the following Monday. So, sadly, it'll be another week where I miss, Pokemon. But I think it's fine. You know? I gotta take breaks every now and again, and this is my first like actual vacation as an adult, where someone else isn't like primarily paying for it. So I think it's gonna be like a nice little thing to. Gonna be listening to music, enjoying some like nighttime walks. Getting some like good overall food. It's gonna be a fun time. I can already see it. It's gonna be a lot of walking. My feet are gonna be, and I'm gonna be wanting to sit down in this chair to stream for you guys. And when I get back, I'm gonna be so tired, but it'll be so worth it. Yeah. So for this week, it's going to be, I guess this weekend, quote unquote. It's just going to be today and tomorrow. So. Pokemon here, and then Metroid Prime tomorrow, and then all the way until next week's Monday, we'll be continuing Legend Dragoon in Disc 4, and on Monday, and then on Tuesday, assuming I read the schedules right, Tuesday we'll be going back to Eternal Darkness Sanity's Requiem. Because that was a very, very fun, like, horror game that we barely really got into as far as I know. But it appears to be a really, like, even just a little bit of that was playing for like what, an hour-ish? Like, did a lot of story. Also big 200, 3200. Let's go. But yeah, it seemed like a very fun like horror game, and I haven't really played many horror games on here. I think the only one I've played has been Layers of Fear, I believe. And that was a fun little game for everybody to kind of experience with me. But it's actually kind of weird. Like, I tried playing that game before, and the ambiance to it kind of got me a little bit. But, like, when I played it on stream, like, it really wasn't that scary. I wonder if that's how, like horror game streamers are able to get through their games is because they're kind of talking to people. But, like, I still don't know how, like, people like Markiplier, like, was able to do it back in the day, or even PewDiePie back in the day. Like, the fact that they were able to do it alone, dude. Big cojones. For all the different kinds of games that play, like Amnesia. Especially Amnesia, really, I should say. Amnesia essentially gave a lot of people an entryway into the streaming platforms that they have now. And I mean, Mark still is playing a bunch of horror games, while PewDiePie has expanded into more variety content. And then there's Jack, who doesn't... I don't think he started with horror games. He might have. I just think he got big because of Happy Wheel, like initially, and then I didn't really watch the beginning of Jack, so I don't know his actual story. But like I just remember that he got kind of popular initially because of like the game of Happy Wheels, but I'm sure there were a lot of other games played. I mean, he's also, I'm pretty sure, played horror games as well. But still, I mean, those are pretty much the, if you want to use an anime term, the big three of YouTube back in the day. And so it's just interesting to see that, like, the roots that they had. I mean, it's even possible that Jack actually started with Amnesia as well. I don't know. Did that update? It did. I didn't see the number change on the counter itself. Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll touch on more horror games here. I mean, right now we have Pokemon Saturdays, or Poke Days, I guess. Currently we kind of have RPG Mondays, and I think the other ones are kind of just like open to games. I mean, it could be Horror Tuesday, and it could be Shooter Sunday. What a weird thing to say. Like, I guess that could be the order in which I do things. But then it also kind of like, I'm doing variety, but I'm also kind of like, in a sense of speaking, kind of like sticking to those like genres. When maybe I want to play something different, like a puzzle game. Which I love puzzle games. Like The Mist, The Witness. The Mist. Like Mist and The Witness. Like, I like those kinds of puzzle games. But like puzzle games kind of like Tetris and stuff like that, I suck at. Or even like slide puzzles. Suck at those. And I have bad, like, I don't know, rotational like imagery in my head, I guess. I don't know how I can love puzzle games but be bad at those. Like incredibly bad. I'm glad that the one in Resident Evil 4 is literally just move everything one space over. And then I think whenever I was playing through Mario Party 4, there was another slide puzzle where it was another situation where like I had to move everything kind of like very slightly. It's like I'm glad that like those are like easier, not like the really confusing, like all scrambled up ones. Those ones mess me up. Those ones are like impossible for me to solve. They're like the Rubik's Cubes for me. Like how Rubik's Cubes have like if you just keep doing the same pattern over and over and over again, eventually you will solve it. But like I don't think you can do the same thing with slide puzzles. And I'm sure there's strategies obviously with them, but like I don't know. I'm not smart enough to like figure it out. Like other puzzle games, and it's really like a strategy game more than a puzzle game, like chess. Like, love chess, even though I'm terrible bad at it. Like, if I had to give myself What? How do they still use? Do they use Elo as well? If I had to rank myself on the Elo, I'm probably like 700, like maybe 800. Like I could probably beat new people at chess, but I couldn't beat anyone with semi good experience, or even someone who understands how open. And the people that can people who know how to attack with their queen or like are able to like develop their pieces well, I will lose almost every time. Unless I get really lucky. But welcome to chess, the strategy board game where it's also a puzzle. Because you gotta figure out what your opponent is thinking. And then piece together what their plan of attack is so you can foil it while also attacking and promoting your stuff. Or sorry, advancing your stuff. But like another big issue that I have with chess is that like I can't see like mates. Like I don't analyze that deep on the box. Because if I did, I'm sure I could be a lot better. But I don't know how to develop that skill other than just like constantly looking at it and doing it. But like if you tell me there's a mate in like 1 or 2 or 3, I can find it. It's only when I know that there's a mate in close moves that I can do it. And maybe it just comes with, you know, experience in doing it. Like there's no way I'm ever gonna become like any kind of like master. And I know it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, don't say that. You could easily become a master at it. And it's just like, bro, I'd be like in my 40s or 50s if I started practicing every day now before I even became even close to being a master. I process chess so badly. Oh, you know what? I just realized I went on a tangent about other like genres and stuff like that because the games that I was talking about like playing after the vacation. I never actually went back to talking about like the attack strategy for the other generations of games. Because like once I get past Gen 4, I'm in the blind. I don't know anything about Generation 5 and 5 through what, 9? The only one I've played through those generations of games has been Legends Arceus. And that's suddenly a glorified Gen 4 game. Yeah, I mean, one of those things, man. Once we get to Gen 5, it's gonna be a crazy roller coaster. Because chances are I might still pick up the same strategy where it's like, okay, I'm gonna grab this Pokemon and this type of Pokemon. I might just default to the, you know, the good old default. Unlike this game or the Japanese Platinum, how like I'm experimenting with our teams, because I know the Pokemon. I don't know the Pokemon in Black and White. I don't know the Pokemon Sun and Moon. Sword and Shield, I don't know. It might just be another case where I try to gravitate to the Pokemon I know if I can find them. But I know that Black and White doesn't have many of the original Pokemon. It was essentially like a soft reboot, so to speak. And maybe that's why I never picked up Unova. And kind of like why I stopped playing Pokemon past, or anything past Gen 4. Because, I mean, I was so enamored of Gen 4, man. And as were a lot of people, because, I mean, a lot of people's Gen 4, a lot of people's start is Gen 4. Mine, thankfully, was in Yellow, but I never got a chance to really dig deep into Pokemon until Gen 4. It's like, I have Yellow, I have Crystal, I played Emerald, and then when I got my hands on Platinum, man. Rival age of 13 on my 13th birthday. Really, really dug deep into that. I still wasn't like, you know, planning my attacks around like super heavy strategies or anything like that. I was still taking that 13-year-old mentality where if it does damage, I want it. But now, like, if you look at my teams for like Alakazam, Rapidash, and stuff like that, you'll see I have like other stat like moves. Like, I never had Recover on Alakazam. I now do. I never thought I would put what, Reflect? I think is what it is. Is Reflect the physical attack defense up? I mean, I never thought I'd use that, but here I am using it because Alakazam's physical defense sucks. So it's just like one of those things where it's like, now that I'm older, I'm actually thinking about strategy and like how important the stat change moves are. But I mean, there certainly are Pokemon that like. Oh, also, I'm also thinking about the fact that like I have to have type advantage like differences. So like how and this is a bad example because Rapidash doesn't learn any electric attacks. But like how Rapidash is weak to water, with it new Thunderfang, then it's going to have Thunderfang because that as a counter. Like I'm actually thinking about type coverage, which I never did back in the day. Never did back in the day. When I caught that shiny Rayquaza off stream just for fun, I think 221 resets. I'd have to go back in Kai's channel to type in what my thing was. Like when I got that, I was using a Shedinja against it because I knew that the only attack that could hit it was Fly, and if it tries to use Fly, I can switch out to Aggron, who has crazy high physical defense. So it's just like I actually planned for it because I knew it was coming, and I knew I could take advantage of its type attacks. Because like I was under level, I was severely under level. I think my Shedinja was like 48. And that Rayquaza is like, what, level 70 or something ridiculous? So like, I'd go with the Shedinja, see if it was shiny, and then keep trying to escape until I did. And then every use Fly, I switched to Aggron. Yeah, I hit with Fly, switched back to Shedinja, and kept trying to escape. And then I would keep doing that until I got the re-entry, or the runaway. And so all in all, I think I did 121 runaways. And then got it on 222nd. So very, very, very fun things. Like I'm actually thinking about it, which is crazy. I never thought I actually would. But back then, whenever you're a kid, man, you're looking at this game, you're like, ooh, fancy Pokemon, go fight these pocket monsters, if you would. I mean, everything was cool back then. I mean, like, for the most part. I mean, like, Charizard, crazy, yeah. I mean, Blastoise, dude, it's a giant turtle with like, cannons on its back. Like, come on. Even Venusaur, it essentially looks like a giant grass dinosaur. Like, come on. It was awesome. And we never thought about like some of the other Pokemon that we would use. Like, who wants to use, like, a dainty little Magikarp until you found out it evolved into Gyarados? Like, it's just crazy. It's just really crazy. Because, like, even though... And I'm sure this is, like, one of those things where, like, people will default to different things. But, like, Spearow versus Pidgey. Like, both of them were really cool, but they work for different crowds. I don't like Spearow or Fearow, but I like the Pidgeotto. I said that backwards. Pidgeotto. And so that's what I went with. But people went with Fearow because of the cool factor. And I went with Pidgeot because it looked strong. Hold on. Okay, it did it. I hit the wrong button. Hello? Where's my enter button? It's just a really cool, like, looking back on what? Apps. It was just really cool, like, looking back and thinking about, you know, how many bad moves I made, or how many bad Pokemon, like, attack sets I have, because I just thought, oh yeah, this would be cool. And like being older now, and I talked about this Blaziken before that I have, like it makes me appreciate it more because of all of like the effort that went into it. But it also makes me realize how much of an idiot I was. And I mean, the person who gave it to me was only like, I think like 2 years older than me. Maybe even only a year. And so he was already thinking about it, but I wasn't. Which means he was more of a strategist than I was. and I just got away with a win on him because of pure dumb luck. And also kind of tricking him into not bringing a legendary. Because I brought Heatran. I don't know what moves it has at level 50, but I think it already had like Heat Wave or something like that. Yeah, I don't think I ever actually beat him in a Pokemon battle now I think about it, because he strategized really well. I don't know. I know he, at one point did like, he didn't do them, but he like went to, like little local tournaments. And like, they were like bigger than them. They were just like a group of people that were just getting together to like face off against each other in a somewhat structured way. But like, it's just like one of those like things where he actually went to those and got to surround himself with people who are also strategizing. Versus my stupid self. Just being like, it can attack, it can do damage. That's good enough for me. Which is kind of funny because like, I never had type coverage, but I unknowingly kept picking moves that were stab for the Pokemon. Like Pidgeotto is flying, I think normal. So like I had a bunch of flying attacks on it. Cat, funny enough, does the same thing. She does the same thing where like if and granted she's 26, but she never played Pokemon much. I mean she had Diamond, don't get me wrong, she had Diamond to play with, but I don't think she really engrossed herself deeply into it. She just kind of played it from time to time as far as I'm aware. But even then, like she was doing a very similar thing. She got Infernape, you know, she got Chimchar, put fire and fire attacks on it. No stat changes, just pure I'm gonna beat you like attacks. And she actually started doing that on sorry, I'm just trying to make sure it counts. She's been doing that on her copy of Diamond. And it is really funny. She is so determined to get through the entirety of the Elite Four with Infernape being her primary Pokemon. Like, she apparently got all the way to Cynthia, which I don't know how she managed that. Like, I don't know, maybe I can get lucky and check it out. Is it in this one, or is that's my platinum? I need to turn my 3DS back on. Like, I wanna tell you her ridiculous Pokemon that she has on that. And funny enough, before she not erased. So she had started a new game, but she didn't delete the old save. So before I like erased it, I like wrote down a bunch of information for her, as well as transferred over her funny Pokemon. And essentially, well, sorry, let me clarify. So when she started the new game, she didn't delete the save. So whatever point she got, she just left it on the entire time. So whatever point she got to, I copied all the information down that I could about it, like the Pokemon, the levels, their attacks, the items she had, and stuff like that. And just managed to get that for her whenever I deleted her save. Well, before I deleted her save, that was still in the system. I took certain Pokemon off there that I knew were kind of funny Pokemon that she had. Like the level 6-down Magikarp that I was talking about, that's called Meatcarp. Oh no. But they're currently sitting in a box on my Platinum. Alright, so here's the ridiculousness of her Pokemon set that she's trying to get through Cynthia with, alright? She has a Machoke, a Graveler, a Floatzel, her Infernape, Gastrodon, and Noctowl, right? Machoke is just called, the only two of them have names. Infernape has the name of Flameo, and Noctowl has the name of Patience. Is that like a traded Pokemon? No, she actually caught that, okay. And their levels are ridiculous, alright? Machoke is 34, Graveler is 41, Floatzel is 39, Gastrodon is 40, and Noctowl is 35. The level of that Infernape is level 70. It is 20, really 30 levels above every other Pokemon she has on her team. Just so she could say she beat Cynthia with essentially almost only an Infernape. Which, let's see what attack she has on it just to prove my point. Flame Wheel, Mach Punch. She has Return, which I'm very interested in the fact that she has that. And Fire Blast. So it's really funny, like, looking at it. Like, just the ridiculousness of her team. She also has Razor Claw on it, which is funny. Really trying to give her attack priority when she's slower. Or like, what, like a third chance? I don't remember what the actual percentage of the Razor Claw is. I might be thinking of Quick Claw. I might be thinking of Quick Claw now that I think about it. I don't remember what Razor Claw does. Does it raise, like... okay, I need to check. I don't remember what Razor Claw does. Funny enough, Gastrodon has Quick Claw. Let me see what that does. I'm not going to save it so I can take it off. If only I had, like, Pokemon encyclopedias here to tell me what it does. Razor Claw. An item to be held by Pokemon. It's sharply hooked claw that ups the holder's crit rate ratio. Ah, okay. So I was on the track. It's kind of funny because she has the Adamant Orb. Wait. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait. No. No, don't, Cat, no. No, don't tell me. No, I have to go through her Pokedex. I'm sorry. Let me get the audio going. No, she did not. She has Dialga and she isn't using it. No! What level does Dialga start off in this game? I don't remember. I don't think it's like Giratina where they have the same levels. I think it's slightly different. She has the Adamant Orb, she has Dialga, and she's not using it. Where is it? Box 1. She has like 4 Bronzors, why? And an Abra. Alright. 2 eggs, probably one from the mysterious guy that just gives you an egg, and probably one from the one for Riolo. From Riley, I think is his name. Bro, do not tell me she... Where's Dialga? She also has the unknown letter D. Wait, what? I swear, is she... Hold on. Does she have it in her daycare? Oh, okay, she has it in her daycare. Ooh, okay. Alright. Okay. Ooh. I was about to be upset if she released it. Back into the atmosphere with you. It is level 48. So our second closest Pokemon to that Infernape is level 48. Bro. I cannot believe her. She has the Adamant Orb, Dialga, and is not using either of them. And she baffles me. She baffles me. It's just like, it's the her getting Spirit Tomb and not knowing how moment again. Like, what? I don't know if I've ever told that story on stream either. So, in order to get Spirit Tomb, you have to collect the odd, what is it? It's the odd keystone, I think is what it's called. And what you do with it is you then have to go to the underground. which is kind of like a slight online mode, and you need to talk to 32 unique people, which can just be easily done by like talking to someone. Like it has to be an actual person, but talking to someone while underground, leaving the underground, then coming back, and you could do that 32 times. But like, I don't recall ever doing that for her, and I don't know if she knew anybody who actually played Pokemon with her, so I have no idea how she got that speaker. Yeah, because she doesn't even have the odd keystone here. I think. Well, hold on a second. That's a key item. Never mind. No, she doesn't have the odd keystone. Like, bruh. Dude, Cat and how she plays Pokemon baffles me. And it'll never cease to baffle me. Oh well. I probably should have checked to see if she has any, like, fire or fight. Didn't check. Any fire or, like, fight enhancing attacks. Because that probably work better for her than the Razor Claw. I don't know why I'm going through those. I just find it's just, I do this. I go through, like, her Pokemon stuff just to be surprised, in all honesty. Don't you just love putting Iron Ball in a Pokemon with a thing? This iteration of barrier moves like Light Screen and Reflect used by the holder. I need to find Light Clay for my Alex. I'm not seeing anything. Sidekick for the Abra. Metal Coat, which, once again, I don't... She got all... Yeah, speaking of which, so whenever I remade the save for her, I found out she had a Metal Coat. It's because of, like... She had caught, like, I think it was a Magnemite? I think it's Magnemite. That had a Metal Coat. It has a 5% odds. 5%! And she just so happened to catch one that had it. Like, bruh. Yeah, she doesn't have anything for fire moves. Alright, I'm gonna turn this off. Not stupid through her shenanigans. Dude, it's... She can't keep getting away with this. A level 17 Burnett. And she still can't beat Cynthia. That just shows how strong Cynthia is. You essentially need a balanced breakfast in order to beat her. I'm not surprised. Cynthia is crazy strong, man. It's weird to think that I've already almost done 200 resets. While rambling about, like, completely asinine things. Whoa. So is the life of a streamer. About random shenanigans. And shenanigans. Oops. And I know I have some crazy, like, hunts in store for me. Like, later on in these hunts. Or in these generations, sorry. Because Jirachi's gonna be a nightmare. Manaphy's gonna be a nightmare. I mean, especially Manaphy. But at least I get 4 checks each like, attempt. Oh. Huh. Oh well. Like, was it Jirachi's 20-minute reset, I think, is what it is? Because I'm not gonna be doing the glitch. The like, save glitch, or whatever it is, to, like, make the reset shorter. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna suffer through it like a man and do something I don't think anyone else has done. That will probably end up being the longest hunt of my life. I probably should actually get that disc. Because I know at one point or another I want to need that Jirachi. Because I think it's what, a bonus disc for Coliseum? I think? And Coliseum's an expensive game. So I can't imagine how much the bonus disc would be. The only thing I don't know is if I need to play through, Coliseum in order to get to play the bonus disc. If it does, I mean, that's not necessarily terrible. I could, for the fun of it, also hunt, oh, what's at the end of Coliseum? Is it Shadow Lugia? I could also hunt Shadow Lugia for fun. That's a hard hunt as well. Because you don't know if something's shiny until after you cleanse its shadow. And I've never actually bothered to check to see if Shadow Lugia can be caught shiny in that game. Oh, it would be sick to have a shiny Shadow Lugia if it's possible. I probably should actually look into research on that. That could be something. Ooh, that could be an incentive. Could be an incentive. I already have other incentive ideas, so that should be a fun one. Because part of my spreadsheet that I have for every single Pokemon is there's some additional sections as well, like Rotom. All the different Rotom forms are there. In case I wanted to, you know, like, let's say there's a rehunt, right? And they're like, oh yeah, I want you to rehunt Rotom. For whatever reason. I can go hunt a different type. Like, let's say I get Fan first. Now I'm getting the refrigerator. And so be it. Because eventually I'm going to have to re-enable, I'm going to have to enable the rehunt. Thankfully, the rules of rehunt are a bit different. It's just hunt the Pokemon that I've hunted before. It doesn't matter which game. But I would at least like to, you know, get a bit ahead. Or at least wait until I'm out of, like, the bad generations to do that. Though I may institute, hey, I just now realized 3,300! Let's go! Let's go! 3,300! God, that's 1,100 times 3. Quick maths. I may institute a, or I keep saying that. I'll probably enable the OG hunts, like going to Pokemon, like the original Pokemon games, and hunt a Pokemon there. I might do that. Though I need the software to quickly check if the Pokemon is shiny or not. But I might want to wait until I'm out of Gen 1 to do that, because otherwise I'm just hunting another Pokemon in a Gen 1 game. Which kind of defeats the purpose when I'm already hunting them all anyway. However, we'll cross the bridge when we get there. There's still some other things I need to also enable. But like I said, those will all come at different times, and they're meant to be different things that are meant to mess with me while I'm shiny hunting. Like intentional breaks. Because, like, in Gen 4, you also have radar chaining. And like one of the redeems for that is to intentionally break my chain. So long as it's under, like, 30, I think is what I have it set to. So, like, if I'm above 30 or if I'm at 31, you know, where the shiny chances are essentially at their best, you're not going to break it. No. Nah. Whoopsies. I worked hard to not get the chain broken up to that point. I'm not going to let an intentional break ruin it. Granted, I could always get to 29, so I might brace it then. Which I suspect will happen quite often. But I suspect the chains will also break pretty often, even without the intentional breaks. However, radar chain is pretty hard. Especially in certain patches of grass. Because of the needing to go out to the 4th circle from where you started. Alright, none of them. Also, for YouTube, if you notice that, you know, obviously there's not many raffles going on, I mean, no point in doing something when no one's here. Well, to at least engage in them. So. If there are people lurking, they're probably not going to engage in me. But if you are here or looking, I do appreciate it. Bro. It somehow hurts every time that there's not a shiny. I mean, I'm only at 3,300, which is really funny. I'm halfway between Snorlax and Charmander. But like, there's still something that hurts about missing, like, not getting a shiny each reset. Like, when you've been already this, like, deep in the resets. Also keep in mind, these resets will also kind of happen in the same, like, way. Whenever I'm, So, like, let's say I'm hunting Scyther later on. In Fire Red. Well, I'm only ever going to have 2 screens of it up per the rules that I made, which I'll actually do exclamation rules here since I finally added the command properly. One of them is no more than 2 of the same game for Pokemon Hunt. Like, if I'm hunting in Fire Red, oh, I just realized the loophole on that. Whoops. Yeah, I just realized the loophole on that. I was gonna say, if I was hunting like something like Scyther here in like Fire Red, then I can only have 2 screens up. But due to the wording of it, technically speaking, I can also, like, if Scyther's available in Leaf Green, I can also hunt it in Leaf Green at the same time. Whoops. Oh well, I'll leave it like that. It's how I worded it, and it's gonna be how it stays. I guess. I know what I meant by it. How I wanted it to be is no more than 2 games per the same Pokemon hunt. But I worded it wrong, and I think I'm just going to double down with what I said. I said no more than 2 of the same game per hunt. Because reasonably speaking, right? If I'm hunting Scyther in Fire Red, if I've already like done the 2-game hunt for like a Bulbasaur in Leaf Green, then by all intents and purposes, I do have quote unquote 4 games to play on for that Scyther. Like, let's say Pinsir. No, let's say use Tauros instead. Let's say, because I used Pinsir last time. I also used Scyther last time as well. But like, let's say Tauros, right? Or Tauros. Let's say he's exclusive to Leaf Green. Well, then I can only have 2 games of Leaf Green. Now, I am kind of like slightly bending that rule when it comes to the hunt that we're doing right now on screen. And I think I might have touched on it last time as well. But like, I'm kind of slightly bending the rules. Because I'm doing both Bulbasaur and Squirtle at the same time on technically both Leaf Green cartridges. But the only reason why I'm saying slightly bend the rules is because, like, if I just had the 2 Bulbasaur, then I'm hunting the 2 Bulbasaur anyway. And same thing with the Squirtle. I'm just hunting them anyway. So reasonably speaking, like, me having 2 games to hunt one of these Pokemon is probably what would end up happening. But I'm just making it more efficient for everyone so that way I can start Leaf Green just by doing both the hunts at the same time. But honestly, this is just for, like, doing it like this is honestly just for convenience sake of I want to start Leaf Green already, because like I said, I'm already at Fuchsia on Fire Red, and so I have quite a bit to catch up on in Leaf Green. And so that's the only reason why I have technically 4 of Leaf Green open, but they're different hunts. So you'll only ever really see 4 screens like this if we're in a situation where I'm hunting starters, really. Because, like, let's say I get to black and white, right? I can, and I don't even know what the starters in black and white are. So for sake of the conversation, let's say it's Chimchar, Turtwig, and Piplup. In black and white. Instead of just using Gen 3, I'm using Gen 5. Let's say, for all intents and purposes, if we get there... and realistically, this isn't going to happen this way. You know what? I do this all the time. And I'm sorry I rambled. We'll just focus on Gen 3. Because with Gen 5, really Gen 4 and on, I won't be able to do, like, multiple hunts. At most, I'll have 2. No matter what it is. Because I only have 2 DSs. And one of them really isn't able to be necessarily recorded. Actually, both of them can't really be, because I don't have a capture card in either of them. But when I get a capture card, it's only going to be for 1. But, really, when we get to the DS games, it's really only going to be 2 games anyway. But, for the sake of conversation from earlier, if I'm hunting, say, Chimchar, that's a Gen... Wait, I said Gen 3. That's Gen 4. I'm hunting Trico. Right? Well, since Trico can be found in Ruby, Sapphire, and technically Emerald, I could have 6 screens of the game, 2 for each game, on the screen for that Trico. Am I going to do that? Probably not. But will I hunt for 2... Oh god, where are they? Oh, well, I hunt for 2 Cyndaquil on Ruby, 2 Tricos on Emerald, and 2... Oh, Totodile on Sapphire? Maybe. All at the same time? Maybe. I don't know. 3 starters, 3 games. I mean, it kind of works. Will my PC handle it? Probably not. Especially in its current state. Will I try anyway and see if my computer, or see if the stream crashes? Probably. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm kind of bending the rule in that way, but I am doing different games. So it's kind of like one of those, like, goofy little things. Where, like, I'm still abiding by the rules, I'm just doing them in a stupid way. But I can't have, like, 4 Fire Reds up for, say, Scyther, if it was exclusive to Fire Red. Technically, the same thing will happen whenever I hunt Aerodactyl, Ammonite, and... Ooh, Udo. Those are no situation where I could technically have 4 games up, or 2 for Leaf Green, or 2 of Leaf Green, 2 of Fire Red. Once again, to bend those rules. I really didn't word that bad. I didn't want it to be like that. I wanted to say no more than 2 games per Pokemon hunt. Per same Pokemon hunt. Whoops. I mean, if they're my rules, I could change them at any time, but I've already committed to it, so. Because, I mean, like I said, realistically, people will have 2. If they're, like, shiny hunting, they'll realistically have 2 games. Like, that's more realistic than, like, say, 29. And so I want to keep it as, I don't know, fair, I guess, as I can. Showing how long it would take, you know, in a normal circumstance. Despite me bending the rules in certain circumstances like this one. Because technically you would hunt Squirtle and Bulbasaur separately, I'm just doing it at the same time. Because regardless, they have separate odds, they're not influencing each other, so they're all independent from one another. They're just conveniently done at the same time. But yeah, in case you weren't here for the last stream, where I was talking about the rules, and they're already posted in chat anyway. But in case you didn't read them, or you're just kind of like listening along, I have 5 rules for the entirety of the Shiny Challenge, or the Shiny Living Dex Challenge. I call it a Living Shiny Dex, I'm gonna call it a Shiny Living Dex now. So instead of LSD, it's now SLD. Yeah, so 5 rules. Every Pokemon has to be got as legitimately as possible, which means that like I can't like cheat a Pokemon into the game. And by that I mean like I can't like inject a code that says, hey, the next Pokemon I get, no matter what it is shiny. I have to get it as legitimately as I can. But that technically applies to the Pokemon itself, but not the event item. Because in future games, once again, we'll use Gen 4 because it's the one I'm most familiar with. Oak's Letter gets you access to Shaman, but it doesn't just give you Shaman, so to speak. So I could put Oak's Letter in, but I would still be hunting Shaman legitimately. Like that, I'll kind of like allow because it's not like I'm getting the Pokemon shiny itself. Which there's kind of a slight bend to that as well for later on, because in Gen 5, I think it's Zoroark, is contingent on having the very specifically GameStop shiny Entei, Raikou, and Suicune be put into the game of Black and White. And I say it might not be all 3, but I'm pretty sure it's all 3. And so, like, technically speaking, I have to not inject them, but I have to get them through the DNS trick on Gen 4. Similar to Oak's Letter. And, like, with those, they won't really matter as much solely because I have already gotten them shiny once before. Because we'll be getting them in Gen 2. And so, like, situations where, like, it takes specific Pokemon to unlock another Pokemon, which I think this is the only one that's ever happened for. That and Zoro with the event Celebi, which I legitimately have, like actually have on my Platinum game from 2013. 2013? 2014? I think it's 2013. Like, I actually have that event Celebi, which is crazy. So in a sense of speaking, I could legitimately get that Celebi if I owned Black and White. Well, I do own Black and White, but like if I actually transferred it to Black and White, I could legitimately get a Zora, which is pretty cool in my opinion. Kind of sucks that I had to do the DNS trick for the GameStop stuff, but I digress. Technically, I could get a Zoroark anyway by evolving the Zorua. It's just a really cool like thing that I found out later on that I technically already had. like legitimate, like suit, like actually true legitimate. No DNS trick needed. But for purposes of this challenge, it will have to be the DNS trick because I'll be starting a new platinum for this challenge specifically. But in the cases of like that, those will technically be DNS tricked and those will be allowed. But once again, I still do technically have to hunt it. I think the Zorua, I think specific, and don't quote me on this. I think the specific Zorua that you get from the event Celebi is shiny locked, but I don't think its eggs are. However, I believe the Zora Arc you can shiny hunt because he's just sitting in a field and you go interact with him. But I don't quote me on that. I think that's how it works. I did a lot of research on the Pokemon, but I wasn't able to get, you know, all information on all 1,025 of them. I tried to do as much as I could, mainly seeing if they were shiny locked, if they were ever shiny locked, like in future games. But like things slipped through the cracks, and I didn't really look too much into Zorua and Zoroark other than how to get to them. But it never said that they were shiny locked, just that Victini and... Actually, I think it's just Victini in Gen 5. The game's legendaries might also be... Like, the cover legendaries might also be shiny locked, but I think it's just Victini. So I'd have to do more research into Zora and Zoroark specifically. So, like, those would still be legitimate, once again, because I'm actually, like, actively hunting them. And technically the Entei, Raikou, and Suicune are, because I caught them before. So, like, as legitimately as possible. If the game, if an event has happened that legit just gives me, like, let's say, the Arceus event in Gen 4, how, like, it just, instead of giving out the Poké Flute, or sorry, the Azure Flute for Arceus on top of Spear Pillar, instead of doing that, they just canned that idea and it just gave everybody Arceus. Like, for example, if that was a shiny Arceus, I would not count that. Like, if they just gave everyone shiny Arceus, I would not count that. I would, in order for me to get a shiny Arceus, I have to do the Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl thing. I didn't look too close at that reset. I hope there was not a shiny. So now rule 2 is their earliest availability. Their earliest availability just essentially states, and I know I said this last video, but like I said, it's just reiterating in case anybody missed it. Rule 2, earliest availability, meaning I have to get them in the earliest gen available. So like here in Gen 1, in quotes, I can't get Mew. The Mew's not counted in the 150 I gotta get before I move on. Because technically Mewtwo is 151. But you can then eventually get shiny caught in Gen 3, specifically Japanese Emerald event. And so like that. So like I'll have to like get the, I don't know if the event is just already in Japanese Emerald or not, just by default. If it's not, then I might have to inject the event itself, but the Pokemon hunt itself will still be legitimate. Because once again, just getting the item is allowed, but if it gives a shiny just straight up that I don't have is not allowed. But yeah, so their earliest availability based on what gen their shiny becomes available. So let's say Victini, which is shiny locked in Gen 5 and is still currently shiny locked as far as I'm aware. Let's say in Gen 6 it was unshiny locked, then I could hunt it there. But obviously I can't hunt it in 5. Third, no shiny manipulation. This mainly affects Gen 3, but I know there are other shiny manipulation techniques for the other games. That in regards to like guarantee, like shiny. Because like there are timer, or was it, I think it's called Eon Timer. and like other things that you can do to figure out where your shiny frame is in like say Emerald specifically because of the frame reset that happens every time you reset the game. Like none of that. The only shiny manipulations I can do are things that are in the game that were programmed into the game intentionally, like radar chaining, the pseudo method, the shiny charm, the sandwiches in Scarlet and Violet, stuff that are legitimately in the game. So I probably should change it to no outside shiny manipulation. Rule 4, trades can only be done from trusted sources, so no wonder trade. No trading a Magikarp in Wonder Trade and hoping I get a shiny Necrozma. Like, I can only trade with people that I know and have either seen or just, I actually trust them to get their shinies because they are actually, abstaining about it. So, like, let's say, was it Beetle Binky, Shine Patrol, oh boy, Poke Network, Chimeri, stuff like that. People like them. People that I know legitimately hunt their Pokemon and get them through legitimate means. So that's how I'm handling that. No, like, hey, new chatter in chat. I have a shiny Cobalion I could trade you for your shiny Charmander. None of that, because I don't know who they are and I don't know if it's a legitimate one. Obviously, someone comes in here and is like, I have a shiny Victini. No, you don't. So only people I actually know hunt their Pokemon legitimately, and I've at least talked to them for, some period of time that isn't just, I'm new and I have these shiny Pokemon kind of thing. And I've already explained Rule 5, no more than 2 of the same game. I already explained that in detail. Those are the 5 rules I'm going to adhere by the entire time, and hopefully I can stick to them. If at any point I break a rule on one of those, that shiny Pokemon specifically is null and void. So if I, like, let's say I go into Gen 3, I use a Eon Timer, and you guys are able to pick up on the fact that, hey, he seems to be very deliberate on the time. Like, it's almost like he's trying to land around that 13.27 mark or whatever. Then I get called out on it. Then yeah, I'm gonna null and void that Pokemon. Like, especially if I'm caught on it. But my intention of this is to keep everything completely legitimate and try and make sure that everything is how most other people are hunting. And I want it to be like that, because this is meant to be a challenge thing, not to be like a, I hope I can sneak this in there because I'm tired of hunting this Pokemon. So I'm hoping that, this challenge I know is going to go on for years. There are plenty of people that shiny hunt years and years and years and years, and they still don't have a full shiny Living Dex. Or sorry, they probably have a shiny Dex, but they probably don't have a shiny Living Dex. And then now they're going back and doing a shiny Living Dex. Versus my stupid self, which doesn't have either. I don't even have a normal Dex completion. Like, all the time I've played Platinum, I don't have a complete Dex. Don't have a Living Dex, don't have a normal Dex. I don't even think I have a shiny in my actual Platinum. I don't think I've ever seen one. So, like... Oh, I should clarify. I mean, like, I have the event, like, Raikou, Suicune, and Entei. And whatever other shiny Pokemon that were given away in events. So, like, I mean, I have those, but, like, not, like, any legitimate shinies in that. All the shinies I have in that, I think, are DNS tricked. But it also is kind of amusing. The only Pokemon I have there illegitimately, that's an event Pokemon, I believe, is that Celebi. Oh, no, maybe not, actually. I think the Regigigas I have might also be. Because I have Regice, Registeel, and Regirock as well. And I have 2 Regigigases. Right now, I need to check. I keep doing this to myself. I keep finding reasons to keep opening up my 3DS. No. I need to go to my Platinum. My Platinum's actually in a normal D. Or no, it's also in a 3DS. When I say my 3DS, I'm referring to a new 3DS. An old 3DS is Cats. But I use it for Pokemon shenanigans. Like trading to get the Machamp and Alakazam and Gengar. I need to check. But I know that Celebi 100% is legitimate because I had to look up the dates. It's the only one I have like from like 2013. All the other ones you can see are all on the same day because of the DNS trick. You can tell exactly when I found out about it. Let's see. When's the last time I actually played this game? April 13th. Oh, right, when I was trading. Let's go to terminal. A nickname. Alright, so here's the event. Oh, no, don't move. Alright, next check. Nothing. Yeah, let's see. May 23rd of 2023 is when I found out about the DNS trick. Oh, sorry, I said 2013. 2011 is where I got the Celebi. March 2nd of 2011. Wait, when was I 13? I'm 28 now. Oh, it was I was 15. Wait, yeah, I was 15, not 13. My bad. I did my math. I misremembered earlier. Yeah, May 23rd, 2023 for all of those. Yep. Okay. Oh, actually, hold on a sec. Let me... Alright, you are EUSMR09. For that event, Regigigas. Where's my other... My actual... Yeah, that one's caught by me, but how did... Wait. Alright, that was August... Huh? Huh? Now I'm confused. Oh, I think the date on the DS was wrong. I think it was before I set the date on it. It says August 2nd, 2000. Hey guys, I got a Regigigas before he even released. Met at level 1 on Snowpoint Island. Or Snowpoint Temple, whoops. Oh yeah, he gave me his Kyogre. How sweet of him. Wait, so... Yeah. Oh. I now understand. Okay. I never actually looked into it, now that I think about it. I do have a Regice, Registeel, and Regirock. They're from Hoenn. And they're from my friend, who traded me that Blaziken. However, the Regigigas is mine. Yeah, because you needed the event Regigigas, the one that I DNS tricked in order to get access to Regirock, Regice, and Registeel. So the ones that I have are technically traded from Hoenn. Interesting. Wait, 2009. Wait. So I did start this on my... I did start this when I was 13. 2009 was 15 years ago. So I did start this when I was 13. Adventure started May 1st, 2009. Yeah, so I was right the first time. Okay. I did start this 15 years ago. I was 13. Okay. I also have 3 stars on my card. I don't remember how you get stars. It's just like crazy to look at like all my stuff. Technically speaking, they were legitimate. I was hitting ABAX. Technically, they were legitimate for my friend, and not mine. But yeah, so looking at the event Pokemon, and I'm assuming these are all the event Pokemon. The Regigigas, Jirachi, the Shiny Entei, Shiny Raikou, Shiny Suicune, Arceus, Ash's Pikachu, I believe. A Pichu that looks like a Pikachu that's quote-unquote shiny. A Shiny Melodic, and a Crobat that was during the World Championship of 2010. They'd given it out as an event Pokemon. Like with the exact same, the exact moves, and I think stat distribution or something like that, with the same item. All of those were due through the DNS trick, and the only one in this section, in the event section, that is not for that DNS trick is Celebi on March 2nd, 2011. Though I do still find it really funny that I technically have a Regigigas from the year 2000. I think that's the only one in here that's like messed up like that. Yeah, catch 2018 Pokemon. The Moltres I finally decided to capture. Oh, that's funny. Wait. Oh, right, I have Dialga in my team. I caught Palkia on June 1st. So like an exact month after I started the game, I got Palkia. Did I get Dialga the same way? Dialga's also June 1st. And what about Staraptor was May 1st? I got Giratina in 14 days. May 14th is when I got Giratina. Caught it in a Master Ball. I love looking at this stuff. Just like looking at the past of like when I could play. I think I'm able to like somewhat do these like hunts on the side. It's a little hard though because of the fact that the A and the B buttons for the DS and the controller I'm using are backwards. Yep. Like it's just crazy looking at Pokemon. Like I got the 4 Manaphy eggs. Does it say when to trade it to me? Yeah, okay, yeah, I thought so. I did all 4 trades on the same day. Just because I wanted to have them all at the same time. Oh, nope, I have a sent for it on July 3rd of 2000. I don't know why my time was set to that. Like, it's also crazy to think, like, the Togepi. I got the Togepi on May 2nd, and also hatched the same day from Cynthia. It's like kind of like reminiscing of, like, the old things I used to do. Boomby, Noctowl, Growlithe. Oh, actually, you know what? I want to check something. I know I've been checking a bunch of stuff on here. There's Absol, my baby. My baby Absol. When did I get you? April 15th of... April 15th? What? April 15th? How did I go back in time to capture Absol? What? Oh, 2011. I keep doing that. I keep doing that. I started the game in 2009. Dante, please. Oh, right, I forgot. I was looking for a specific Pokemon. That's not on that page. Where is it? The nickname. Nope. Dude, I cannot find. I wish I could like show the screen. But there's like there's a Pokemon I have in here that I didn't know I had, and I found out how difficult it is to find. It's ooh, what is it? What's the what's the pre-evolution of Snorlax? Oh, it's staring me in the face. Oh, it's staring me in the face. Rescue. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Oh, Munchlax. I somehow have a Munchlax. and I need to find it again. So like how like I was baffled about Cat's Spirit Tomb, I'm baffled by my Munchlax. And again, maybe it was traded to me as well. There's a Finian, the Wobbuffet, Riftbloom, Ario, Shedinja, the E. Okay, bro, I know I have a Munchlax in here. It's like I have to like specifically go through it all. Yeah, sure. I have a Delibird. Alright, all the texts are synced up. Their icons are so small. Also, next reset. You know, I'm gonna focus on the resets right now. The next reset is gonna be 3,400. We're flying through these today. My average whenever I was doing the Charmander, I think, was 330 a day. But I can't figure it out. Can't figure it out. I know I had a Munchlax. I know I had one. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, you did not. No, you did not. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Kai, for rating. Hi, everyone. My name's Dante. Obviously, I don't really have, like, a thing on here that's not, like, a VTuber or anything like that. You know what? Here, for fun. Hold on, where is it? Where is it? Here. Here, oh, my chair's broken. I did this as a joke. Why is it not working? My chair, where is it? Oh, I didn't group it. There you go. Have a chair to look at. Hi, everyone. I was just trying to find a Munchlax in my Platinum, and then you rated me. Oh my god. Hi, everyone. I don't really know how to do an intro. But hi, my name's Dante. I guess you caught me when I'm shiny hunting. But I do other sorts of variety games as well. But yeah, as you can see, currently in that's my chair PNG. I am a PNG tuber, chairman. No Kabalion yet? Oh, I'm sorry. What'd you get up to on your resets? Because currently we got to 3,400 on this one. Oh, also, thank you for following Sleepy Palava Nicole, that Perseus, or Purse, and Mikey. Thank you guys for following. It means a lot. Thank you, thank you. I don't really have much to display on screen other than the shenanigans that's going on. Yeah, how was it? Since obviously I had to leave after an hour because I had to start doing this. How was the stream? How was the Kabalion hunts, even though you didn't get them? I'm afraid that I'm not faring any better with Squirtle or Bulbasaur. Yeah, in case Just as a little heads up for people who are new here, which is essentially all of you, I am doing a Shiny Living Dex, starting from the earliest generation, which, since the OG Gen 1 doesn't really have Shinies, I'm using Fire Red and Leaf Green as a substitute for that. And so far we only have Charmander and Snorlax, which is down there at the bottom. And now we're working on Bulbasaur / Squirtle as well. No, of course there's an ad at the perfect time. No! I wish I would have seen that earlier, I would have dismissed it. Absol. Absol is my absolute favorite Pokemon. The disaster edgelord himself. Yeah, I don't really have him in too many teams, but whenever I get to Gen 4, when I get to Gen 4 in this, or even Gen 3, I'm going to try and get him in the team. Here's a Sceptile and Gliscor. Very, very nice Pokemon. Have you actually ever shiny hunted them, Mikey? I would imagine shiny hunting in the games that they're originally in. You have. Ooh, that means you have them. Then imagine you could probably commit to that. Dude, Sceptile is a very interesting looking shiny. I can't really comment on Gliscor. I need to see what it looks like real quick. Yeah, both of them in Scarlet and Violet. Never shiny hunted in older older games. It's it's harsh. Because in Scarlet and Violet they lowered the shiny odds to like what, 1 in 4,096? Which that's half odds for these older generation games. So I'm kind of like fighting up a hill. Yeah, here, let me look at Gliscor's shiny real quick while this is doing its thing. Yeah, to go back to the raid for just a quick moment, I hope everyone had fun over at Kai's. He's such a fun person to vibe with. And actually, you know, I never actually shouted him out, even though there's nobody here and you're all going to do the same thing anyway. But I need to get in the habit of it. I really do need to get in the habit of it because it's something that I get used to. So I'll do that to you, even though everybody there should already be following anyway. It was an amazing stream. Thanks for asking. I'm glad it was a great stream. It was a good stream, great stream. I was really not expecting you to raid me. Really hit me with a fluster on that. Ooh. Oh, I'm doing great. Like, I went from... I started the hunts today at 3,100, so I'm 300 deep. But aside from the Pokemon stuff, I'm doing good. Like, even this, I'm just having fun. Today I've just been reminiscing mainly about my older games. Like, I'm going, like, off to the side, obviously you can't see, but off to the side I have, like, my actual Platinum game, and I'm just looking at the stuff in there. I started that game in 2009. No, I'm not ready. I am not ready. I will never, ever be ready for a raid. I put the Destiny soundbite on there just as, like, a funny thing. I've never had to do an intro before. That's incredibly sweet of you, and I will watch it back. Yeah, I'll never be ready for a raid, because the fact that like people are like trust me with their community is incredibly sweet of them. But yeah, I try to keep things for anyone who happens to be lurking and listening. I try to keep things just as chill as Kai. I may not be as loud or what's the word I'm looking for? I think loud is just good. But I still try to keep the chill vibes going, stuff like that. I've only had 2 shinies, and both of them have happened before going over odds. So I haven't felt the pain of the pain yet. But I know when I start feeling that pain, I'm probably gonna actually start like probably reacting just as hard as you do. But yeah, I was reminiscing. Also ADHD moment. Switching topics way too quickly. I was reminiscing on my previous like Pokemon stuff. And like it also had me call back to being more baffled by Kat. Because earlier I was talking about the fact that she's trying to beat Cynthia with just an Infernape. And I was going over like her levels of her Pokemon. Which are like, what, I think it was 36, 41, 38, 40, and 38 again. But her Infernape is level 70, and she still cannot beat Cynthia. The things she does in these Pokemon games baffle me. I'm still confused about the Spirit Tomb from before. But, like, going over her bafflement, like, the things that she does in her game, make me go back to my actual Platinum, and not the Japanese Platinum I have in my new 3DS, and just look at, like, the things I have in here. Like, I have all the unknown. A through Z and the question, exclamation point. I have the, before I found out about the DNS trick, the only event Pokemon I had was Celebi. Like, it's crazy. Oh, actually, I have not been doing any raffles lately, which are very actually, I'll just do a 20. These are very similar to Kai's, except instead of at the end of the month, whoever wins, or the top 3 people get, like I think you do gifted subs. Whoever is the top at the end of my month, just their points get erased, but they get to name a shiny Pokemon. Any that doesn't have a name. So if you want to, you know, have a shiny Pokemon that's somewhat immortalized in the entire chronicles of a Shiny Living Dex, then by all means, go ahead and do exclamation join it into the raffle. See if you can get to the lead. Also, hi Mast, how are you doing? I love that my Charmander has kind of been like the announcement of, hey, I'm here. Yeah, so doing it that way, everybody gets a chance at being able to get a shiny Pokemon if they just eventually commit to it. You're just finishing up. What you finishing up? Oh, sorry, God. Oh, Game of Thrones? Are you watching that in preparation of House of the Dragon? Oh, Ghost of Tsushima, the game. Oh, sorry. Oh man, one of the very few reasons why I ever wanted to get a PS5. Because like I love Japanese and samurai-based games. Love the Nioh games, which is like a Dark Souls samurai game. I would love to play Ghost of Tsushima. I want to play Assassin's Creed. Oh, what's the new one called? Is it just Assassin's Creed Shadows or something like that? I want to play that. That's gonna be that's gonna be a wonderful game, even if it doesn't necessarily, even with all the like the quote-unquote controversy around it. I think that's going to be a wonderful game to play. Love the was it Sengoku Basara games, which are essentially just like Dynasty Warrior games. Those are really fun. But yeah. Maybe one day I'll be able to play those on stream. I definitely think they're a fun kind of like just not necessarily turn your brain off because you gotta focus sometimes, but they're definitely fun just like play out games. Kind of like whenever you're playing Warframe, most of the time you just turn your brain off in that. Oh man. So for those who did join in the raid, if you have to, you know, raid and run, even Yukai, I greatly appreciate you even coming by, even for the very brief time that you were here. If you're lurking, I hope you're having a lurk. Hope you're, you know, staying hydrated. And I thank all of you for, you know, coming by. Also, I just now realized I did not see all, because I was covering my face because I didn't expect it to happen, but I didn't see that all the people that posted. So, you know, Lady J, Purse, Willie, Drain, Noir, Sleepy, Evie, and I think Austin, as well as Kai and Mikey. But hi everyone. Let me group the chair with the funny PNG tuber thing that I have here. Okay, I guess I can close that tab now that I had of yours open. So let's see, what was I looking at before before Kai hit me with an Uber raid? I was holy crap. Munchlax, that's what it was. So I thought I had a Munchlax, like, on my platinum. I could have sworn I had one, and I was trying to see if I could find it. Does Gold have shinies? Like Gen 2, Gold and Silver and Crystal? They do, yes. It's just OG Gen 2, or sorry, OG Gen 1 that doesn't. But even then, it technically does. Because in Gen 2, they introduced IVs. In Gen 1, they were DV. So in order, and they also introduced shinies in Gen 2. If you transferred your Pokemon up from Gen 1 to Gen 2 and they had the correct DVs, they would be shiny. The thing is, though, is that you don't know they're correct ones until you did trade them up. So that's the reason why I'm doing these hunts in Fire Red and Leaf Green, because it's the most true to Gen 1, just with like upgrades and stuff like that. But whenever I finish with Gen 1, the first 150 Pokemon, asterisk, excluding Mew, I'll be actually regressing and going back to Gold, Silver, and Crystal. You should try and farm a shiny starter on this copy of Gold. Do it. Do it. I mean, it's incredibly, like, fulfilling whenever it actually happens. Too lazy to reset my Fire Red save. I mean, you really shouldn't have to. You can also hunt with eggs. Granted, you have the same odds, because the Masuda method wasn't added into the games until Gen 4. Oh geez, what number is much? But no, like, I wouldn't say reset it. Just if you're going to be doing that, you should probably be There's another raffle, by the way. I do them every 25 resets, or every 25 resets on the counter. So it's really every like. But yeah, I wouldn't say reset. I'd say just hunt from your current save. It's probably the smartest thing to do. But for gold, if you want a shiny starter, it's kind of a little bit harder, because you can't trade out of Gen 2 to up. Unless you go through Poké Transporter, if you have that on your 3DS before they close that down. Or before they close the 3DS shop, I should say. You just go to the daycare center and keep receiving the eggs when it hatches? No, how that actually works, the shininess of a Pokemon's egg is determined on when it's made. Or it's either when it's made or when it's picked up. But I'm pretty sure it's when it's made. So you can't just like pick it up and then go run around and hatch it. At least I'm pretty sure that's how it works. It's on generation. Because the fossil Pokemon, their shininess is determined when you hand them in to the person and then come back and pick them up. So, like, you would have to save before you give them the fossil. Give them the fossil, run out the building, run back in the building, and then check to see if it's shiny. For the fossils. It's very similar with the eggs. It's based on when their ID is created. Because, like, whenever you get an egg in the daycare, it's already determined what the Pokemon is and the ID that's tied to it. It's just up to you to, you know, patch and be like, what is this? I'm still trying to, like, go through my Pokedex on my actual Platinum. Oh, I just realized I am going through the national, or I'm going through the national, yeah, the national Dex. I need to go to the local Pokedex. Yeah, exactly. Just keep making as many eggs as you can, just hatch them all at the same time. The only exception to that egg rule, well, sorry, for Gen 4, it's different because it introduces the Masuda method. So once Gen 4 kicks in, and then the rest of the game's onward from that, you get another method to make the eggs actually better. And Gen 2 actually. Gen 2 actually has a unique property as well about eggs. So if you want to hunt Pokemon with eggs, like the starters, or a Living Shiny Dex, or just to make it shiny, Gen 2 starters are actually one of the easiest ones to get. Because if you can get a shiny Ditto, whenever you breed with that shiny Ditto, the eggs have a 1 in 64 chance in Gen 2 for some weird coding quirk issue. But the Masuda method in future generations for Gen 4 and on requires you to have a different essentially it's an international, like, Ditto, or an international Pokemon. Like, let's say you had, like, a Japanese, I was about to say Nidoqueen, that doesn't work. A Japanese, Pidgeotto. You could then do the Masuda method with your own normal Ditto, and it would still work. But it's just better to get a Japanese Ditto, because then it works with everything. But even then, there's still, like, a slight caveat, and that's with Manaphy, but I won't get into Manaphy. I trust I'm standing here not doing anything. Whoops. It's mainly because I'm trying to find this Munchlax. Like, I'm pretty confident I have one. No, I don't. What? Where did I see a Munchlax, though? Because I was surprised about having one somewhere. Yeah, you could make as many eggs as possible and then just go hatch them in a giant, like, massive hatch spree. However, if you're ever in the mood for a hard hunt mask, Manaphy is probably going to be one of the harder egg hunts because of how it works. Because Manaphy is unique in the way that it works. Though, I guess if you treated Manaphy the same way, I was gonna say it could theoretically work, but I guess it's only actually Manaphy. So Manaphy is a unique egg Pokemon, where you have to play the Ranger games to get an egg that you'll then transfer to your Gen 4 games. So Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Heart Gold, Soul Silver. And when you hatch the egg, you get a Manaphy. That's cool. However, anytime you breed with Manaphy, you only get Fiones. So in order to get a shiny Manaphy, you have to essentially be very lucky, because its shiny, its shininess is actually determined on a different value than every other shiny egg. Because it's actually based on the ID related to the egg itself, as opposed to if it happens to be a shiny ID. Because essentially the Manaphy's, and I'm, like, dumbing it down, but, like, essentially Manaphy's egg ID has to match your SID, and if it does in a proper way, then that Manaphy hatches and it'll be shiny. However, if it doesn't, what you can actually do is, if you have a second game, like a second Gen 4 game, you can then reload the save to before they hatched, send them to someone else on Gen 4, and then if theirs happens to match with the ID, the Manaphy could hatch shiny for them. However, it's important to note that whatever game you send the Manaphy eggs to, those can never be shiny. So, like, my actual Platinum has my 4 Manaphy eggs. This 4 is the max you can do for this. And so, whenever I start hunting Manaphy, I know that the ones on my actual... It's very confusing. It really is. Essentially how... Here, I'll actually make it even easier. In order to have a shiny Manaphy, you have to keep trading it back and forth between different save files for Gen 4 games. And if you're lucky, then that profile, quote-unquote, will get a shiny Manaphy. Manaphy is like a very unique Pokemon in that it can be shiny when you send it to someone else. Is essentially how I can say it. Its egg can be shiny when you send it to someone else, but it has to be specifically the egg. It is very cool, but it's also a very long hunt. Because you have to... Every time you fail the shiny check, you then gotta go to another new game. Like, if I send from my actual Platinum to my Challenge Platinum, and that Challenge Platinum doesn't have a shiny Manaphy, I then get to go to, say, Diamond, make a profile on there, get 5 Pokemon so I can trade 4 for the Manaphy eggs, and see if those are... then are shiny. If it's not, then I gotta go to another Gen 4 game, create a new profile, and you just keep doing this back and forth until eventually one shows up shiny. It's incredibly tedious because of how much commitment you gotta do for each time you gotta do it. But the great thing about the Manaphy egg hunts is that you can technically reset back to the eggs, and you can still have a chance of getting shinies, just once you traded it over. Thankfully, Fiona is less complicated. Just keep hatching eggs until it's shiny. Yeah, that's a hunt I'm eventually going to have to do when I get to Gen 4. You do exclamation join to get some red orbs for the funny shiny thing. Now, if you want to hear another fun hunt that is also going to be quite annoying, but also kind of fun, but kind of arduous at the same time, is Jirachi. Jirachi is going to be a fun one. The Wishmaker Jirachi from the Coliseum bonus disc is going to be... Ooh. Ooh, boy. That one. I don't... It probably has been done, and I'm probably hyping it up more than I need to. But you can get a shiny Jirachi from the Wishmaker bonus disc from Coliseum. But the thing is about the Jirachi in that is it's like 20-minute resets. You gotta go through like 20 minutes of content, get the Jirachi, see if it's shiny. I think you have to transfer it, see if it's shiny. If it's not, then you gotta roll it back and play through that entire disc again. Or whatever the last 20 minutes of that disc is. It's kind of ridiculous that it's a 20-minute reset for Jirachi. But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I think the only Pokemon I won't ever get to do in the kind of like difficult way is Mew. Because Mew can be shiny in 2 ways. One is a Japanese edition of Emerald where you hunted in that. The other is like the Wii Poke Ranch. Like WiiWare game that you could have. Apparently, you could have a shiny Mew appear in that and then send it over to one of your games. But apparently, that one is so ridiculously difficult because it's also similar to the Manaphy eggs, where I think you have to reset every time it doesn't work. I think. I need to watch that video again. But apparently, it would take an asinine amount of time in order to get the shiny Mew from Poke Ranch. And I don't think anyone's done that one. But to be fair, I don't think anyone's done the Jirachi one either, but maybe they have, and I'm just hyping that one up more than it should be. Either way, I'm trying to do these hunts as best I can and as quote unquote officially as I can. Because obviously some Pokemon, their events are past, but I have to still hunt them. And I know it's like one of those things where it's like, why not just hunt them in one of the further games up? Because it's not their earliest availability, which is one of my rules for the Shiny Hunt. Actually, Mast, if you are curious about the rules for my Shiny Living Dex challenge, if you do exclamation rules, you'll actually get to see the 5 rules I have for it. I was actually talking about them earlier. Oh yeah, actually, hold on. I forgot to look this up earlier. I opened up Cerebi, but I forgot to look at it, and I am sorry about that, Mikey. I wanted to look at Shiny Gliscor. Ooh. So it goes from like purple and red to like blue and yellow. I like that. It's a shame I gotta wait all the way to... Oh geez, what, Gen 4? Yeah, I gotta wait to Gen 4 to even hunt that. That's really pretty. Yeah. If you're curious about any of the 5 rules, feel free to ask, but that's essentially what the 5 rules of this entire challenge are. And technically there are rule bending, but no breaking. Like, I can't just inject, like, a shiny Mew to appear next, for example. But I could add, like, the item that lets me go hunt it. Or, like, Shaman in Gen 4 with, Oak Slitter. Yeah, I want to take this as seriously as I can, because I think it's important that I keep the challenge to its integrity as much as I can. Oh, I I don't know if Kai's still here, if he's like lurking, or if he went to go hang out with Rooney. I'm still. I don't know if it comes across, but I'm still. Oh no! I just realized the Koki's thing went away. Why did it go away? No, why did it go away? Oh, it's in here somewhere. Where'd it go? Wait, why did it fail to load? What? Huh? The file is currently unsupported. It's a JPEG. What? Or corrupted? How did it get corrupted? Oh no, is my computer going blue screen here in a minute? Yeah. For those who happen to be lurking and just listening, the 5 rules are that the Pokemon have to be as legitimate as possible. Their earliest availability, as an example, me doing Gen 1 for Gen 1 Pokemon. No shiny manipulation like you see with the Eon Timer in Gen 3 with Emerald. Trades from only trusted sources, so nothing like Wonder Trade, only from people I actually know. And no more than 2 of the same game per Pokemon hunt. That is a bit of a tricky situation, because if you see on here, I'm only playing Leaf Green, but I have 2 Bulbasaur and 2 Squirtle, so it technically counts because they're not the same hunt. Or in the case of, like, Scyther, let's say Scyther's available in both games, I could have 2 in Fire Red and 2 in Leaf Green. But if Pinsir's only available in, say, Leaf Green, I can only do 2 Leaf Greens. These are rules I kind of decided to come up with to kind of like somewhat arbitrarily make it more difficult than it needs to be. Because I know I could just go to like the newer generations like Scarlet and Violet and probably get most of the Pokemon shiny with relative quickness. Definitely comparatively to this. But I wanted to make it something different. And I don't know if anyone else has done this. They probably have. But I wanted to do something else different that probably most people aren't going to do. I mean, if this silly challenge of mine inspires more people to take up the silliness of this challenge, then that'd be great. I'm always about, you know, having people try and have fun with new different things. I'm sad that the image for Koki isn't working though. That's real sad. However, it's marked Sleep 2-1, like in the parentheses, which makes me think that it's not working properly because there's a second one somewhere, which is weird. Oh well, you know what? Starting. Wait, what? Oh, it's because it's a web or a web. Nothing, man. Here, what can I have sitting in my lap? How about this ASCII art of... Oh, it needs to be in the front. Oh, that's why. Hold on. I just realized. The Cheryl's in front of it. I'm so good at this, guys. I'm so good at streaming. No wonder it wasn't showing up. I thought it was broken. Turns out it was me. I was the one broken all along. Oh boy. This can't go on forever, right? Right? This won't actually be my first over odds, right? Right? Fingers crossed. I can't go over odds on 2 Pokemon at the same time, right? Not as my 3rd Pokemon to get shiny. That's just not reasonable. Granted, neither was getting my first 2 Pokemon under odds. Come on, Dante needs a new shiny. Alright, next raffle. Oh. I keep opening the wrong thing. I did the same thing twice. Slowly but surely approaching 3,500. Man. Alright. I mean, usually I only go until about 4, so that's about half an hour from now. However, I think in lieu of the situation, I think I'll go until I hit 36. Because 36 seems like a nice, clean number to end on. That's essentially, what, 500 checks in one day? Or really 250 resets in totality. I think that should make up for the fact that I didn't stream earlier at noon. Because most of these streams have been like kind of short lately. And so I think they've been like maybe 2.5, maybe 3 hours. So going back to a 4-hour stream for, you know, one day can't hurt, right? I'm actually having fun talking about all this, like reminiscing about the old like platinum that I have. However, now I am kind of confused about where that Munchlax went. Because I know it was I have a Munchlax somewhere. Wait, maybe it's on the Japanese one. I wouldn't go out of my way to get a Munchlax in Japanese Platinum, would I? For no reason? Other than to say I did, I guess? Now I gotta check. Turning on my new 3DS for the 3rd time today. I keep turning it off expecting I'm not going to go back into it, and lo and behold, I go back into it. I gotta say, I really should save up for come on. I really should save up for like a capture card on this thing, because I would love to be able to stream some of the games that are on it, like Fossil Fighters. I mean, if you know what Fossil Fighters are, I mean, essentially Pokemon, but with dinosaurs. But you have to put like a little. It's essentially like the fossils from like some of the fossils you have to interact in this game. But you have to like excavate them and get them out of the ground, and then once you get enough of their parts, or mainly the head, you can use it in battle. And as you get more parts of the Pokemon, you're able to make it stronger, and it gets new attacks and stuff like that. It's a really nifty game. And apparently, I think the second, like, people tout the second one is the best one. I've only played the first one, and apparently the third one's not good, but once again, only played the first, and I've enjoyed the first one. So if you have, like, a Pokemon itch and want to try something slightly different, I mean, obviously you could probably go play Power World, but, Fossil Fighters is a pretty good DS game as well. Okay, let's see if I have a Munchlax in game. I don't know why unless someone like traded me a Munchlax, like in the game. I don't think anyone. Nope, I don't have it in this either. Where did I see a Munchlax? I could also be confusing it for Why Not. But I know I don't have a Why Not in Emerald. I know that for a fact because I want to get one in Mirage Island. Which that's going to be a fun hunt. I'm doing the Mirage Island version of the Why Not hunt. Which I don't know how I'm going to pull that one off given how luck-based it is. But I guess what I'll do is every time I start stream, we'll go fly over there, check a bunch of different Pokemon. If it works, then cool. If it doesn't, then oh well. Because, I mean, why not? Why's my phone going? You know, I think it'd be really funny if it was a situation where, like, I'm like, I know I've seen a Munchlax, and then I go to look at cats, and she's like, holy crap. Like, she has the Munchlax. No wonder I couldn't find it. It's hers. It's once again hers. She's baffling me with yet another thing. For those who don't know, Kat is my significant other. And I talk about her kind of frequently. Mainly during Pokemon, because like she baffles me with some of the ridiculous things she does, like level 70 Infernape to meet Cynthia. Or a Spirit Tomb, which I never helped her get the 32 talks in the underground for that, so I don't know where she got that. Because she didn't really play Pokemon with anyone else. Also, Kai, I read your tweet. How dare you? How dare you be so sweet, and yet so Papega-y. I haven't really been saying it, but like today, because I've been reminiscing a bunch on my old Pokemon games. But please make sure that you are staying hydrated and staying as fed as you can. And once again, if you're here or have been here in any capacity, thank you so much. Any amount of support and love is more than wonderful, because what you can do, like, how do I explain this? You kind of like donating your time here is probably one of the most important things that I have, like I said, your time. And so being willing to spend that here means the world to me. Like I said, even if it is only for, you know, a couple minutes, you know, coming in during a raid, and heading out after that. Like, any amount of support and love is more than enough for me. So thank you. Whether you're listening or not, lurking and talking, hanging out at YouTube, thank you. After that, I needed to drink myself. Alright, 3,500. Ooh. Alright, that is 400 resets today, or 200 200 actual resets. And I know it doesn't show up on here, but I'm also tracking the Squirtle ones in kind of tandem with this. Because right now, it isn't increasing, but I know I've been up 400. So right now we're at 25, 27 for Squirtle as well. So Squirtle's also kind of crossed that quarter threshold, I think. What's half of 4096? 248, I believe? No, yes, 248. So yeah, it passed it at the beginning of the stream. And slowly but surely, Bulbasaur is approaching half odds. I don't know why, like, I thought going back to try and get the starters was going to be a good idea, but man, I really wanted to start with, I really want to start Leaf Green. I have, what, 5 gyms, I think, to catch up on? I think Koga's the 6th. Let's see here. I've beaten, on Fire Red, I've beaten, Brock, Misty, Lieutenant Surge, Erica, that's 4. Brina, Blaine, Koga, and Giovanni. Oh no, I guess I've only beaten 4. Okay. Oh, actually, I forgot to do. So at the intervals of hundreds, I do 10K raffle. So if you do want to join that, or Red Orbs, by all means. And if not, I understand. I don't think I incremented. At sets of 1,000, I do 20,000. So you really can't get them up very quickly. You can also gamble. You can also do slots, which slots also have their own rules to them if you get a certain thing. Granted, slots are kind of expensive. But man, you hit those slots right, man. You get 64 times whatever it is that you bet. I think the minimum is 500, and the max really you can just gamble all your orbs for it. Like I said, if you ever win those slots, man, it's 64 times. It's insane. While while gambles, I think just give you double if you win. But the odds of winning a gamble are fairly even. I would say like they're 50-50. It's probably more around 40-60, but Toki proves time and time again constantly that it's like 10-90 for him. And then Sal, one of my mods, he's constantly indicating that it's like 90-10 for him because he's almost always winning. Last month, whenever it ended, he ended with 5.8 million orbs. He actually won at 600,000, but before I reset him, I let him keep gambling to see how high he could get, and he got to 5.8. And Koki saw it all. Poor Koki. Also, if you happen to look at the screen, the emotes that are on the screen right now that are flashing in a slideshow, those are new emotes I recently added that are just follower emotes. So you don't even need to sub for those. You can just follow, and you'll get those 4. Plus, you'll get one more that was made courtesy of Capehead. He he made a not Poggies emote to counteract the Poggies like 7TV emote, and so he also has it as well, because I mean it is his. But he also let me very courteously. Let's see, what else is on my screen? The team thing, that's for Fire Red. So right now we have, and this is just when I play through Fire Red. If I get to half odds with Bulbasaur, I'm going to switch back over to Fire Red and just continue to for a little bit, so that, to kind of like break out the monotony of constantly doing top resets. But currently on the team is Nidoqueen, and it'll go in order. Nidoqueen, Pidgeotto, Pikachu, which I think next is Charmeleon, which is the shiny Charmander, Gyarados, and finally Primeape. Most of those Pokemon are Pokemon I haven't really used consistently in a team before, so I wanted to try something different. In the top right behind chat is actually a funny little image of the Charmander family dancing, as well as no, never mind, I was gonna say as well as, but it's just like a little tiny Charmander dancing family, which was actually a meme back to whenever I was starting this whole thing off. I was going to add like an image of Charmander for every 100 like resets I did, and it's very slowly but surely started to break my stream. But on top of it, there was one stream where I decided to, I think it was like every 10, I added another game. When I got to 10 games, it turned the stream into like a slideshow. I was doing a PowerPoint presentation as a stream. But so in kind of like lieu and honor of that, I still have the Dancing Charmander family lineage up in the top right. But yeah, on top of trying to keep things chill and, you know, vibey, I also kind of meme around a lot. I mean, it's just, it's a stream. We're all here to kind of hang out and, you know, poke fun at things. I try not to have things too serious here. So, serious things I'll show up. Handle them when you can. Hopefully nobody redeems any sips because they'll have to go get a refill. Oh, come on, Bulbasaur. Or Squirtle. I need one of you. I need one of you to be under odds. I need one of you to be shiny this stream. It becomes hard going day in, day out, just resetting for Squirtle. Which is funny, I actually want Squirtle more than I want Bulbasaur. But I think that's just because I've started to get a fondness for water types because of going through Japanese Platinum with Empoleon, or Piplup. And so I'm like having a bit more fondness for water types. I always like grass types as well, because like Trico is my favorite starter for Gen 3. At least I think it's... No. Yes. Yes. Now I'm blanking on what Gen 2's is. Is Trico Gen 2? Anyway, Trico's my favorite like grass starter. And so like being able to use him is really fun. But I never really used much water starters. I always like just mainly focused on fire, like everyone else. Charmander, Torchic, Lava. The one I'm obviously forgetting. Why am I blanking on one of them? Oh well. I'm sorry if the other fire starter is your favorite. I genuinely am having trouble remembering. Woe is the life of ADHD. You remember some things in great detail for absolutely no reason, and then forget something as simple as a name the next. Thankfully, though, for doing Leaf Green, catch-up won't be that bad. Because I can focus solely on, like, one Pokemon to level up as opposed to multiple, like I am in Fire Red. So I want to show off multiple Pokemon. But in Leaf Green, I only need, like, 2 or 3. And I can probably get through the rest of the game. And so be it. I mean, the only really important Pokemon to get in Leaf Green right now is primarily just a starter. Because I'm not getting Snorlax, so Snorlax will be in Fire Red. Because Fire Red's the primary game for the for Gen 1. And generally, the third editions of Gen 2, 3, and 4 will be the primaries for those. But I also need to do the starter hunts in the other games as well. Granted, the starter hunt in Emerald's going to be harder. And since I'm not doing any shine manipulation for that, I'm just going to get lucky that I'm grabbing the ball at a different frame each time. I might just, like, hit start, do 1, 2, 3, grab, or like 1, grab, or then, like, 1.5 grab, and, like, do stuff like that. Because without, like, Eon time or stuff like that, I'm never going to know exactly where it's at. No, I really, really hope I have an early shiny frame. So, I will say, while I'm not doing shine manipulation for Pokemon and stuff like that, if need be, I can at least look to see where it's at. So, like, if I see that, like, the shiny frame is, like, 40 minutes in for some odd reason, I'm just going to restart that save. Because that's a ridiculous amount of time to wait for the first shiny frame. Essentially, I just want to, like, see if it's early or not. But, like, I won't be using the Eon timer to, like, specifically, like, try and figure out the time, like, while in correlation to it. Though, Eon timer's not the one who actually does it. It's a different application. I don't think it's Pokehex. Pokehex is the one that changes values from Pokemon. I don't remember what it is. So I think I have it on my old laptop. Wherever that happens to be. Granted, really far away from Emerald. I'm like thinking about Emerald when I'm still on my 3rd Pokemon in Gen 1. I have 2 out of 150 done. Also, Master, if you were curious still about the eggs, like the egg hunts and stuff like that, I'll be having to do those later. Because as part of being a Shiny Living Dex, the living aspect of it, is that I gotta have one of every Pokemon anyway. And since it's a Shiny Living Dex, I have to get them shiny in eggs too. Not only do I have to get, you know, these Pokemon shiny, I also technically have to get... I have to get them 2 more times from eggs. I guess in theory what I could do is just constantly doing these soft resets, but that's kind of boring. I also don't know how well it will go for eggs. Eggs will probably also just be as boring, but there's also a slight bit of surprise to those, and not as many resets. Though I'm worried about how many eggs I have to prep off stream in order to get those done. because I don't know how many it will take to take up a stream, because usually I stream for about 3 to 4 hours. And in that space of time, the eggs in this, I don't know how long it'll take to hatch. And I don't think, oh, what is it? I want to say Warm Body, but that's like... I know Warm Bodies is a movie, but I don't know if it's an ability. But I don't think the abilities enhance... Like the ones that had, like Volcarona has, for example. I don't think those take effect in this game. I don't think those actually start until, like, maybe Gen 5. Maybe even Gen 6. So not only is, you know, getting a lot of eggs necessary, but also taking a lot of steps with said 5 eggs. Thankfully, Gen 1 has some pretty good roads that you can just drive straight back and forth on. But those egg hunts are going to be fun. They're going to be fun, and they're going to fill with a lot of disappointed egg hatchings. But on the bright side with those, I get multiple checks. Like, each time. It's just a lot of prep work initially. And just, like I said, the unknown of how many I need. I know some people prep, like, what, 3 boxes, and that essentially holds them over in, like, Scarlet and Violet. I think it's 3 boxes. I never actually watched how many boxes it was, or, like, counted. But in this, because of not having a way to speed up the hatching, and how many steps it can take for eggs to hatch, it being slightly variable. I'm pretty sure they are slightly variable. They're variable by egg type. It's kind of hard to tell how long it'll take for 5 eggs to hatch, and how many of those 5 egg hatches I'll have. So that's gonna be a fun little set of, like, the first start of, like, say, first, like, 2-3 streams of that's gonna be figuring that out. The nice sweet spot for it. Like, how many can I get an hour on average? How many can I get in 4 hours if I stream the entire time, starting at noon? Oh, there's gonna be so much experimentation. But Gen 2 will be fun. Gen 2 will be more fun with the egg hunts, because the egg hunts will kind of be predicated based on if I can find a shiny Ditto. Which in of itself is another, you know, 1 in 8,000-ish odds. But if I can get that shiny Ditto, I'll have 1 in 64 eggs, which will make, like, 80% of the hunts in that game so quick. Hopefully. Because that's not even the Masuda method, that's just a different thing. That's like a coding error or something to do with the eggs. Also, I did another raffle if anyone happens to be listening and wants to. For hitting 3450. Or sorry, 3550. Man, the only Pokemon that will really be problems in Gen 2 are going to be, like, I mean, not really Pseudo-Wudo, but I want to get Pseudo-Wudo in the same way that I got Snorlax, which is on the way in the story. However, I think Pseudo-Wudo shows up sooner than Snorlax. Because, like, I could just probably egg hunt it, but where's the fun in that? But, like, all the legendaries, for example, they're going to need full odds. The starters are all full odds. Or at least the starters, initially speaking, anyway. I'll be trying that shiny Ditto around quite a lot now that I think about it. Also, part of the legitimate thing that I was talking about with the rules earlier, I'm not going to be duplicating any Pokemon, so like that shiny Ditto, if I get it in gold, that's all I'm going to have is that one, unless I happen to find another one in Silver or Crystal. I don't know why I decided to make it so needlessly hard on myself, but that's just kind of the person I am. But this is also somebody who's like, and I mean, it's not really saying much, but I mean, like, it's coming from somebody who like plays Dark Souls and like those games actively and genuinely enjoys them. So like, difficult things really aren't like new to me. Like right now, I'm having to go back through Dark Souls 2 because I missed some achievements in it. More specifically, the collect everything of like miracles, sorceries, hexes, that jazz. So like, I have to go through that again, which means going through 3 new game plot. Or sorry, going through the game 2 full times and then some on the 3rd one. Because the online server is also closed, which means it's kind of impossible to get some of the other spells without going to the special person who sells them in New Game Plus 2? So, I have a hands full of that in regards to more difficult challenges of just basic nature. Because I haven't played Dark Souls 2 forever, and people generally don't like Dark Souls 2 because of the way that it handles the dodge frames. Also because it feels slower than every other Dark Souls. So, like, doing this is a different type of challenge than that. Because, like, while that's, like, difficulty challenge, this is, like, a repetitive challenge. How many times can I do something before I absolutely lose my gourd? I think that's why people watch shiny streamers. For that, like, inevitable shine moment. They're very important. And once again, I haven't felt the pain of going over odds yet. Granted, only 2 Pokemon in. And on the 3rd/4th one now. So I don't really have that necessary hype built in me yet. But it still feels so good to get a shiny, man. So if you haven't shiny hunt before, I highly suggest it. It's very... It is, like I said, it is very kind of like slightly monotonous. But even still then, it's still very fun to do. Like for Absol, I want to have a blast hunting shiny Absol. Shiny Absol has like I think like a 5% spawn rate in like one area. In either Gen 3 or Gen 4. And so like hunting that's going to be a nightmare. But I'm going to absolutely love when I get that shiny Absol. And that thing will probably end up coming with me through most of the rest of the games. Like, even if I can't necessarily tame it because of the fact of, like, you need badges to train higher level Pokemon, more than likely that Absol is going to be coming with me in most games. Even if it's just being a backup and it's like a chance of it just not listening. I may lose the friendship points for it on my, you know, main where I originally got it, but I don't care. But if you do just ever decide to shiny hunt, I'd suggest try shiny hunting your favorite Pokemon. Because it'll mean more to you if you start with the Pokemon that you love the most. Even if that Pokemon's a legendary, which essentially locks you to it being a full odds shiny hunt. Unless you happen to be hunting well, I was gonna say Fiona, but Fiona's also technically a full odds hunt to a degree. Ooh, actually, I wonder if the pseudo method works with Fiona. I actually never thought about it. Or Fiona. If your favorite Pokemon is also Manaphy, you're also gonna have a hard time with that one as well. Really, just most of the legendaries are kind of in the same realm where, like, if they're easy to get to, they probably have an annoying soft reset, but if they're annoying to get, they probably have a more annoying unlock requirement. Because, like I was talking about, like, Fiona, the only way to get Fiona is to have a Manaphy. In order to get a Manaphy, you need to play Pokemon, one of the Pokemon Ranger games. Which I had to play... I had to play 3 of them, but I had to play a 4th one of one of the other ones. So, like, the normal Pokemon Ranger, I played twice, for example, and the other 2 I played once. And that would be like the way that you want to do it. You want to have 4 eggs. Yeah. The starters are a bit more annoying, but I also wouldn't recommend hunting like I am in the older generations of games. I would start with 3 if you want to get into Shiny Manipulation, or 4 and up. But if you want the easiest time, play Scarlet and Violet, and hope that your Pokemon is in that one. Play whatever is the newest iteration of Pokemon that has your Pokemon in it. And you'll have a lot better of a time trying to hunt it. Because over the years, they've introduced new mechanics and stuff like that to get Pokemon. Obviously, I've talked about the Masuda method. They added a Shiny Charm, which essentially halves... Or I shouldn't even say that. It technically gives you more chances at getting a Shiny. But not by decreasing the odds, but just by giving you 2 more checks, so to speak. In the code of how it checks Shinies. So, like, let's say your Pokemon has a let's say it's looking for like a shiny value of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Well, the Shiny Charm, in a sense of speaking, would add 2 more checks of a random number to see if it would match your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that you need for that shiny on that Pokemon. And that's a bad way of explaining it, but that's essentially how it works. It gives you more checks, but doesn't decrease the odds. But also in some of the future games, you also get sandwiches, which also can increase your shiny odds. So yeah, I'll just start with whatever the most recent game that has your Pokemon is. Because I know that Scarlet and Violet doesn't have them all. It has a lot, but doesn't have them all. And once you do that, if you like it, keep going. And if you don't, well, hey, at least you got your favorite Pokemon. It's just shiny. And what more could you really want? As you can see, I kind of ramble and kind of stick to a topic pretty hard. That's also part of the hyperfixation from ADHD. Is once you kind of start talking about a topic, you kind of stick to it pretty hard. And then you also can switch topics really easy as well. And usually I try to keep the topic focused on like what it is that I'm like doing, like in either the game or what happens to, or if it happens to be in chat, like what's happening in chat. I really don't know how to talk about things like outside of like what's happening on the stream, mainly due to the fact that since I work security at night, I'm not really out during the day, which means I don't really have too many stories. Did that not count? Hold on. No, it did. Okay. I'm so paranoid about that now. There was one stream where I had my counter broke, but like the sound kept playing. For some reason, it tracked something else. Like it went to like Eevee and started counting it up. But because my resets aren't focused on Eevee's like text file, it never went up. And I had to like do a bunch of math to figure out where I was in the checks. So now I'm like super paranoid if everything gets marked properly. Alright, I need to wait for everything to sync up. I mean, I do have like funny stories, but they're funny, especially in the moment. But I also don't know how to like explain them like properly. I mean, there's one really funny story that Pat and I still laugh about today whenever I bring it up because of the pure, just absolute unhingedness of it. I mean, so it may be a bit TMI, but it's still a little funny. Kat and I are leaving from a festival that absolutely tanked. I think it was last year. I think it was last year. Absolutely tanked. It was like one of the worst festivals ever. Because like it was supposed to be a 4-day thing, turned out to be really like a 1.5-day thing because there was rain and storms and like almost a tornado touchdown. There was hail, a bunch of rain, but also the working conditions were just awful. So anyway, we left on about midway through. I think it was Saturday. I think it was Saturday because it started on Friday. Had an early thing on Thursday, but it started on Friday and it was supposed to go until Sunday. Yeah, Friday, Saturday, no, Monday, sorry. And we left about Saturday, I believe, midday. It might have been Sunday midday. Actually, you know what? I think it was Sunday midday. Because they had never opened the doors for the festival on Sunday. Because weather having been so bad before, they didn't want to take any chances because the weather looked like it could have potentially done something again because they were tracking the system. Well, they never opened the doors. I think it was like 1 or 2, and we just left. We later got confirmation that they just closed the entire event for the remainder of the time. No one got refunds, which sucks. I'm just giving context for this because it was just an absolutely bad time, and there's a reason why I say it was really funny that we can still laugh about. We're on our way home. We stopped by Walmart just to get some things for the trip way back. I ended up going to the bathroom in there, and if you've ever been to like a Walmart bathroom, you know it's kind of like the big, small stall. I took the big stall. Someone came in and took the small stall. Then I didn't even check the shiny. Then a third person who obviously had a bit of a problem opening the door. Like they opened the door and it slammed against the wall, like to go into the bathroom. And they approached my stall, and when I tell you, it felt like a demon was trying to get in. Like it was violent how much they tried to open this door. Like me and the other person in the other stall beside me didn't make a noise. We were like scared for our lives. And what made it even funnier in the aftermath of it was when they were trying to leave, assuming to go to another bathroom. They couldn't get the door open to leave, so now they're fighting the door to get out of the bathroom like a demon trying to escape. And when I tell you the noise, the absolute noises coming from that man and the door, if I could imitate the sounds, oh my god, it sounded like a bull running through a china shop, essentially, just chaos everywhere. And once again, me and the other person in the stall were too quiet to even make or too scared to make even noise. It was, looking back on it, it was one of the funniest moments I've ever had in like a public sense, because there was no mannerisms, pure chaos. If any bolt on that door had been loose, it would have come flying off. And like I know that I'm kind of probably not doing a good job telling the story, but I wish I could tell it the way that I told Kat whenever I was telling her about it, because she was she couldn't start driving when we got back to the car, just because of that. She was still laughing about it. All right. Okay. So we got to 3,600. You know, big whoopee. 3,600. Still no shiny Bulbasaur or Squirtle. We got 500 checks today. I went a little over, but that'll be okay. But that will be the end for today's stream. I already have in mind someone to raid. But really, a special shout out really goes to Chimeri today for, you know, the raid that he threw at me. Once again, Sleepy, Quilava, Nicole, that's Perseus, and Mikey, all for following. I really appreciate all of you, whether you follow or not, whether you came in the raid, or happened to actually just stop by on your own. Whether you talked, not, or all that stuff. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It means a lot. So, now we are going to raid someone else by the name of iSmoka. They are... Okay, so they're playing... It looks like they're playing Legends Arceus. So I'm not sure exactly what they're doing. But I thought it'd be fun to, you know, raid them and, you know, take you over there. They're pretty chill, but they're also a little chaotic at times. Kind of, I guess, depends on their mood at the point. And they are at least they're a VTuber, but they have like a Whaler behind them. Like a shiny one. But I don't know what they're doing. I think they're trying to catch one of the legendary Pokemon. Although I can't read what it is because I'm trying to keep the graphics quality down. But anyway, if you want to show them some love, or you know, just hang out, vibe, or even follow them, once again, I'm sure any love you show them will also be greatly appreciated. Same, you know, the love that you guys showed me by hanging out and, you know, lurking, stuff like that. So let me get the raid going. What is it? It's yeah, I think I did that right. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, I hope you guys have fun, like, hanging out over there. Once again, I appreciate any and all of you that came in with the raid, hung out, anything really. So, with that, I'll be back tomorrow. Also, I think around noon at EDT or 12 p.m. EDT with Metroid Prime, if you happen to be into that, the GameCube version of the game rather than the remake on the Switch or like playing it on the Wii. So, with that, I'll be saying bye. So, thank you all for coming. I will bid you all adieu, and memento mori. Have a good one, guys.